is ready for a 75-minute halftime? We're going to have one coming up in 2 quarters from now, however much time that takes. What's going on, Demonverse? I'm your host, Rich Jodice, the Pro Football Demon. And we are here for the National Championship after an epic weekend of NFL football. Oh, boy. Lot to talk about. As I suspected, the Buffalo Bills got rid of their head coach. And I had a poll up, and 83% of you, nobody said Sean McDermott should have been fired. 83% say no, and 17% say it's Aaron Glenn's fault. My take on the Sean McDermott thing is I don't know how good of a coach he is. You have to look at the Denver Broncos John Elway thing. You have to look at that. With Dan Reeves there, they couldn't win a Super Bowl with Elway. They at least reached Super Bowls with Elway, but they could not overcome the Super Bowl obstacle that was in their way. And with Sean McDermott, same thing. Almost the same thing. They couldn't even get to the Super Bowl. And now they had the golden opportunity. No Mahomes, no Burrow. You know the story. No Lamar. And Josh Allen still couldn't get it done. And in a game where Josh Allen, here's the thing. Josh Allen is the one who turned the ball over 5 times. It wasn't Sean McDermott. But still, he's going to take the heat for it. It's interesting because should he be fired? Should he have not been fired? I would have fired him. If I were a Bills fan, I probably would have wanted him fired. Say, let's just go in a different direction. What do you do at head coach now? I mean, Brian Daboll's out there. You bring him back because he worked well with Josh Allen. But Joe Brady also works well with Josh Allen. But if you bring Daboll in, you're not going to keep Brady there because Daboll's going to want to call the plays. So what do you do at that point? You're going to have to get rid of Joe Brady. So then Joe Brady suddenly becomes available for a team looking for a head coach. If they do this quickly, I mean, they might not do it quickly. He might just get hired as an offensive coordinator somewhere else. But it's so interesting. I would probably go Brian Daboll because where else are you going to go? You're going to go Matt Nagy. I'm assuming they're going to bring in an offensive guy. They're not going to wait for Mike Tomlin next season. So, but nobody has picked. Yes, nobody thinks he should have been fired. And you know what? It's hard because this is on the heels of a game where Josh Allen turned the ball over 5 times. But there is a history here. So, hello, Brian Dusenberry. He's here. Soldier's here. Justin Spiewak is here. Anakin Skyogre's here. What's going on? Make sure you like the stream. That would be excellent. I really appreciate it. Heffley is the head coach of the Dolphins. Yes, he was hired by the Dolphins. Again, I don't know how to feel about that. He's a good defensive coordinator, I think. Is he going to be a good head coach? Nobody knows. That's the roll of the dice you get with some of these coordinators. Is he going to be a good head coach? They don't have a lot to work with in Miami. And we don't know what he's going to do in terms of bringing people in. The thing that, does concern me a little bit is, are they going to be bad enough to get the first overall pick next year? And that's what I'm already eyeballing as a Jet fan. Matt West is here, says go Canes. Daniel Leone makes music. I hope I said your name right. He is here. He's a Chargers fan. SG's here. Josh Allen got Sean McDermott fired. Am I doing this right? I think there's an argument that can be made that, says Sean McDermott got Sean McDermott fired. I mean, we're going to look at this last game, but if we look over the history of the team, 9 years. I didn't think he was there for 9 years. I was a little shocked when I heard that. I was like, I don't remember him being there for 9 years, but yeah, he has been. He's been there for 9 years. But the way ownership's looking at this is we have given you the best player on the planet. That's the way they're viewing it. We're giving you the best player on the planet, and you can't get beyond a certain point. And now these other guys who are elite and have been in his way are not in the playoffs this year. Now you can't get by a second-year quarterback? Oh, come on. But it's not fair. I don't think it's fair to look at it that way. The thing that is strange to me is Brandon Beane not only kept his job, but he also got elevated. So he's going to be the guy they have to answer to, and he's the guy that put the rosters together. I mean, look at this. He's the guy that brought in Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa had a boneheaded play in this game. Brought in Von Miller. That was a disaster. Keon Coleman he drafted in the first round. That was a disaster. Has not been able to put together a squad that can help Josh Allen. I mean, even James Cook, he's fast. Led the league in fumbles. Not a great situation. They brought in Brandon Cooks. But that's another thing. Brandon Cooks is out there. He's not a guy that you want to throw a jump ball to. So we can look at that play, that interception that was, according to the Bills, not an interception, which I think it was an interception. I think it was clearly an interception. It was not like the thing that we saw in the Rams-Bears game whatsoever. Not even close to that. But he's throwing a jump ball up to Brandon Cooks. He's not that type of receiver. So what are we doing? Where was their number one receiver? Yeah, the players were good. It was the coach's fault. I don't know. I don't disagree with the move. Matt West, I'm going to ask you this question because you're a Jets fan. If McDermott is available next season, do you want him as the Jets head coach? My answer is no. So I just want to know what you think. Derek, are you a Lions fan? Yes, Derek is a Lions fan. Yes, he is. He is. Anakin Skywalker's a Lions fan too. So yeah, it was. I guess you could go any way with it. I would have fired him. To me, it's like, let's bring an offensive guy in. You guys know I like Brian Daboll. I would go back, get Brian Daboll, bring him in, see what we can do with Brian Daboll, because Brian Daboll and Josh Allen worked pretty well together. They still didn't win anything. The other option is keep Joe Brady. Another option is just go hire somebody from the outside, because the big names are gone now. Harbaugh's gone. He's hanging out in New York. They put out a video of him walking with Joe Shane to make it seem like they're buddies, but it's kind of. I feel like there's going to be a knock on the door at some point saying, "Tell me what you do here, Joe. What do you do here?" Because we're writing a check to you every week or 2 weeks, whatever the pay schedule is, and we're not sure what you do here because you're not making the decisions for the roster anymore. Car King, sorry about that, Brian. I was on a roll about this whole Buffalo Bills thing. I am so sorry. Ashley is here. Ashley, by the way, is now a champion. And she is your new television champion. And we are going to get her title in the ceremonial spot because I believe she is the only champion on the stream right now. Unless I miss somebody. Halfley is head coach of the Dolphins. Can of baked beans can coach better than Glenn. All right, so there we go. I think I just read that the Dolphins hired the Packers DC. Yeah, he's the Dolphins head coach. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I hope he fails. Because I don't like the Dolphins. I don't want them to have a good head coach. So that's the only reason you can be successful at everything else in life that you pursue, just not as the Dolphins head coach, because that would be devastating to me. But another thing that I heard was hail to the champ. Yes, hail to the champ. Another thing I heard today that I thought was very, very interesting, was the possibility of Mike Tomlin next year, not this year, becoming the new coach of the Washington Commanders. That makes a ton of sense. Apparently, Ben Johnson, when he interviewed with the Commanders, I don't know if he said this outright or he led people to this conclusion. What his feelings were on the situation was ownership there. They're basketball guys that think they know football, and I don't want any part of that. Was basically his take. Essentially, his take. They think they know football. So what does that tell me? That tells me they are going to see the name Mike Tomlin and be very familiar with it and say, that's who we want. We're going to offer him a ton of money if he makes himself available next year, because I don't know that their current situation is going to last. I don't know that that's going to last. Tomlin goes to the Commies. Who's going to coach the Jets? Matt West, I think will be in a situation, honestly. I think that Tomlin situation could help again, just like this whole thing with that happened with the quarterback, Dante Moore, save the Jets from themselves, from having to go quarterback at 2. I think Tomlin going to the Commanders could help the Jets save the Jets from themselves, Because if you bring in Tomlin in, he's going to want, that's going to have to be one of the things. That's going to have to be one of the situations that he wants. He's going to want control over the roster decisions. And I don't love doing that. I love Tomlin as a coach, but I don't love giving him control over the roster. That would bother me, especially with Darren Muji there, who I think is capable. I think we have the piece in place at general manager. And now we just need to find the coach, and we'll be in a position in 2027 to get the quarterback. So we have the first stud there for the foundation, and bringing Tomlin in on the surface looks great, but I think it can throw a whole. It could just destroy everything. It could bring everything down. Boy, you really like Muji? Yeah, I mean, he's given me no reason not to like him. He looks to be like he's a brilliant talent evaluator. We haven't had that. The moves that he made in season worked, for what we had. But, look at the guys that we have a little bit, like these guys aren't studs, but, you've got Briggs there. He's brought in guys that are giving us depth pieces that we're not paying a lot of money to, that can be there and help be a foundation when we bring in star players. So I've never seen the Jets do that. I really like it. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to upend that because, the name Mike Tomlin is out there. It reminds me of Parcells, because when we look at the Parcells stuff, we got the game has started here. Miami will take the kickoff. When we look at what happened with Parcells, right, on the surface, that looked like a great decision. Bringing in Parcells was a great decision because he gave us credibility right off the bat. The game has started, yes. No, they're taking the field right now. There's Carson Beck coming out onto the field. I will get back into the Parcells thing in a little bit. Sean is here. Sean Cantrell. Hello, my fellow Demons and Ashley and Lee Demon. I told you my favorite Green Bay fan. Go Indiana. Are we calling for the bell yet? What's going on? Sean Cantrell is your Demon Lord champion. And there is a 9-yard run by Miami right off the bat. And let's get his belt on screen. It is freezing here, by the way. So that's why the hoodie's back on. Because, man, I'm cold. All right. I didn't even give you guys a score prediction or anything. I just got right into the news of the day. Give you guys a score prediction. Let me give you guys a Baal prediction. Wait a minute. Baal's prediction is Indiana, of course. But it's not Indiana ball, so he's going to go next to Miami right now. And my score prediction is Indiana 30, Miami 21. There we go. There we go. I'm going Indiana here. Derek Hobbs is going Indiana here. I'm going Indiana. Valadismus was over on Facebook. Says one last whispered breath. Get Mendoza. Yeah, I don't see it happening. Tom Brady's at the game. Unless Mendoza looks terrible and gives him the finger or something. I don't see the Raiders giving up on him. So, yeah, the Mendoza dream is over. The Arch dream has begun. Do the arches. Give us the golden arches. I am very excited about that. So here's Carson Beck. He's another guy that I don't want to play quarterback for the New York Jets. He takes a snap out of the shotgun. He's going to roll out to his right, get rid of the football, and that is incomplete. Got a 3rd and 8 coming up. So what I was saying about Parcells, so bringing Tomlin in, if we look at what Parcells did when he was here, yeah, it would be a similar situation. Parcells came in on the surface, it was beautiful. Year before he got there, we had the first overall pick, right? We took Keyshawn Johnson. Parcells got there, had the first overall pick again, and had a shot at Peyton Manning, and he blew that. He blew that for us. What would have been better, having Parcells for a couple of years? We knew he wasn't going to be there for a long time. What would have been better, though, having Parcells for a couple of years or having Peyton Manning? I don't know. Another thing is a coach has never won a has never won a Super Bowl with a second team. So do we think Tomlin would do that with the Jets? I don't know. I'm not going to say I would hate Tomlin coming here, but I don't want to undercut Darren Muji because I really like Darren Muji. I think he knows what he's doing. We'll see what he does in the draft. You know, things could always change. These things are fluid. There's the punt. It's going to be Indiana football, and this is going to hurt to see Mendoza work this defense. Brian Duesenberry says, we've been bad for decades. We have to get used to being a good team. Talking about the Detroit Lions. Yeah, he's a Lions fan, too. We got a lot of Lions fans here tonight. Miami 28-21, says Matt West. So that's the way I feel about the whole Mike Tomlin thing. I just want to give Darren Muji a shot to put this roster together. But again, you know, we'll see what he does in the draft. Maybe he'll blow the draft and I'll be pissed off at him and I'll start making crazy pictures of him and with the middle finger over them or something. Who knows? That's entirely possible. There could be a Darren Muji. I could turn heel on Darren Muji at any moment. We'll see. I don't think I will. Stidham will get the second ring for Peyton. That's a possibility. I'd like to see a Rams, Broncos Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen. Let's see what the Patriots do. You know, this could be the game where we actually get Sir Drake of May. He's going to have to take that team under his wing, I think. But their defense has been the story, in my opinion. But we'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. I'm pretty bummed about the Bears, though. So I want to let you guys know it hurts to talk because I bit my cheek earlier today when I was eating a sandwich. So it hurts. and if I've got a little bit of a lisp, it's because of that. Stidham and Locke, Super Bowl is going to be legendary, yeah. Because we got the oblique thing with Sam, but he's going to be fine. I think they even said before the game, yeah, no, we're just going to give him like a shot or something. He'll be okay. I hope Drake May, the Pokemon, falls flat on his ass, says Matt West, but he used $2 signs. There's Celtic Scarecrow. He's a Panthers fan. Can't turn on volume, but at least clicking the like. Thank you, Father Dismiss. Hold on a second. Right here. Maybe you can see this. He's a good man. There's Big Wink. He's a Patriots fan. He's going to start asking me about Sir Drake of May, who does not exist yet. Not yet. Really bummed about Bo, but I'm going to believe in the Stiddy party. I mean, we'll see. No, Drake May has not been promoted to knighthood yet, Justin. He has not. We had a big discussion about this. People have been asking me in the comments of the last video, but I'm going to put out an NFL Kingdoms this week. I have a God and the Devil written. I was going to film it and post it today. I just didn't have the time. I got so close to it, and then it was getting too close to the stream. I wouldn't have been able to do it, but work was a little hectic today. I had to deal with whatever. First and 10, Mendoza takes the snap. And he gets the ball off because he's a brilliant quarterback that should be the New York Jets quarterback, but that's not going to happen. But it doesn't matter because we're going to get Arch Manning. Caleb, 41st of 41st quarterbacks accuracy and 5 picks in the second playoff game. And 2 playoff games, sorry. 2 playoff games. Caleb is a baller, man. You can say whatever you want about him, but man, that pass at the end of that game, oof, that is insane. Hand off to Hemby. He gets maybe about a yard. Mendoza is a squire right now. Yeah, he is a squire. I was at the Providence Bruins game yesterday, so I missed the entire Patriots game. It man, they absolutely dismantled. Absolutely dismantled CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud was demoted. He is not Sir CJ Stroud anymore. He was demoted to a page, not even a squire, a page. How do we message you to share ideas? I have a hierarchy idea that makes more sense. Being serious, not a smartest. You can put it in the chat if you want. You could message me on Patreon. Patreon's free, unless you want to choose one of the tiers. But Pro Football Demon on Patreon right there. There's an option to message me there if you're at least signed up for it. Elmo Jets fan says we are watching our future quarterback one tonight. Oh man, I hope. I wish. I don't know. Maybe Brady will be like, no, this guy's not it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They got him off the field. Wow. Wow. I only saw the clip of Booty's touchdown. My God, that was insane. Yeah, I think the story yesterday was your defense. Your defense is crazy. Yes, I will be live streaming the NFL draft. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm sorry I'm ranting about the Lions. I just don't know anymore with the Lions. The Lions are in I mean, depending on what happens with the Minnesota Vikings this offseason, if the Vikings get themselves a quarterback, the Lions could be at the bottom of that division looking up again. But that division's going to be... it depends on who their offensive coordinator is. I mean, the Lions are a talented team. So, a couple of games went a different way. They could have been in the playoffs. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But it is a tough division. So, they can't sleep on anything. Can't take anything for granted. But if the Vikings end up getting a quarterback, that's going to be, it's going to further complicate things for the Lions. Maybe Mendoza will throw the game to try to dodge the Raiders, maybe. But that's what I was talking about before. I've talked about this with you guys with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, the narrative, and it's because, and I understand, back then, information didn't travel the way it does now. We didn't get stories. All we saw was, things happen, and we kind of tried to make our own determination. So we saw 2 seasons back-to-back where the Jets had the first overall pick. My screen just went black. I went to a commercial. 2 seasons back-to-back where the Jets had the first overall pick. And, all of a sudden, Peyton Manning in his junior year decides to go back to school instead of enter the draft. So the narrative was, he wants to avoid the Jets. But then we find out later on that Parcells was... all the Mannings wanted, all Peyton wanted was to know where he was going. He would have been a Jet. He just wanted to make sure he was going to be a Jet. That's what happened. That's what actually happened. And Parcells wouldn't guarantee that because he was saying he was flirting with trading the first overall pick, which he did. He traded to the Rams, who took Orlando Pace. But then, the Mannings were like, well, if you trade that pick and you need a quarterback, like who's going to have the first pick? Are they going to be interested in a quarterback? Then they're going to be in a position where they don't know where he could possibly go. So that's why he went back to school. He wanted to know where he was going to go and who was going to be his coach and whatnot. So, the idea that Peyton Manning didn't want to be a Jet and didn't want to play in New York is utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. When is the time the Jets are good? You stop that. Hello, everyone. On January 20th, it's my 27th birthday. Mr. Fulton Raz, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Chad is awesome for wishing you a happy birthday. Yes. When will the Jets be good? 2029 at the earliest. Could possibly be 2028. 2028 could be, well, actually, it could be the beginning of the 2027 season. At the 2027 season, we can be looking at that and saying, this team is starting to come together. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, you know, things change quickly. I mean, a couple years ago, we would have been like the Chicago Bears. They have no hope. And look where they are. Well, where they were now. I think Belichick wants to be the Packers DC. No, I don't. But I did hear the possibility of Buffalo reaching out to Belichick, which I think would be hilarious. The Lions chose an offensive coordinator, Pensing over McDaniel. Did that actually happen? Man, McDaniel's still being interviewed for head coaching jobs, though, right? Like he could, so you know, he might be getting another head coaching job somewhere. 2029, big ships turn slowly. Matt West, stop it! You're being like Tyson Rausch over at Let's Talk Jets. I don't know him, but I love watching him. And I'm just like, you got to stop with the doom and gloom, man. Come on. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. PFD weeks 1 through 19, 2025. Denver has no hope. I was there. It did happen. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. You know, good workout for the Lions. Who knows? Dan Campbell is very coordinator dependent, so we could be having a conversation about a Lions head coaching vacancy if he misses the playoffs again. Talking about Belichick to the Bills, that would be so much fun. Oh my God, the NFL high classroom would be insane because you would have the spirit of Belichick with New England, and you would have the actual Belichick with Buffalo, and those conversations would be epic. I need that to happen. Jake Asman has already made March for Art shirts. All right. He was another one. He kind of annoyed me a little bit with his negativity. I was just like, Jake, you got to slow down, man. Like, you know, I didn't say this to him personally, but just like, dude, you got to stop. I mean, yeah, okay, we're not good, but like the constant moaning and just like, just look at what could we do to correct it? Right? We weren't turning anything around this year. Do we really want to be the team that brings in a coach right now and wins 6 games with nothing to show for it? No. This is wise what we're doing. This is why Darren Muji is a brilliant man. He loaded up on 27 picks for this reason. So we know 26 is going to be a wash. It's just going to be a wash. Let Darren Muji cook. Let him cook. Get the spices out. Jake is full scorched earth. I know. A lot of Jet content creators are. And, you know, just like, and then I look in the chat and I'm just like, man, like the fan base needs to chill a little bit. Like, okay, it's fine. We're bad. Fine. But I mean, if you look at the history, you would think we never, ever, ever won a game. I mean, yeah, we've been through, you know, with Todd Bowles' first year, he had 10 wins. Okay. And then, yeah, sure. He had like 2 bad seasons. And then Chris Johnson took over because Woody went to go do the thing for Trump. So Chris Johnson took over. He didn't know what he was doing. But while Woody was there, things weren't always bad. And people act like they were. And it's like, do you not remember the history? Do you need me to lay out the history for you? It wasn't. It really wasn't. Chris Johnson made 2 terrible hires. Brought in Adam Gase, which was atrocious. Thank you, Peyton Manning. You owe us. So, yeah, Arch. And then did the Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas thing. And then, you know, Woody came back and was like, okay, this is a mess. Let's get Aaron Rodgers. That didn't work. And now he's put it in the hands of people who are capable. In the front office, at least. So, you know, there we are. But everybody's acting like, you know, the Jets have been an absolute tire fire for the entire Like it hasn't been. They really haven't been. I love watching Miami fans crash out about the new head coach and Detroit with their OC hire. Miami fans aren't happy about the Hafley hire, really? I have a buddy who was pretty happy about it. I actually think it was a pretty good hire. I don't, again, we don't know what he's going to be, but Cooper with a big run after the catch, and that's a first down for Indiana. I foresee the Jets making the wild card next season, just beating out the Bills while the Patriots win the AFC East again. The Jets aren't making the wild card. They're not even close to making the wild card. So, Ashley comes in and the throne is not open any longer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Ashley. Your television champion has just taken the throne once again. Let me get that comment on screen. I don't know why the comment clicked off. I was trying to keep it up on screen. First quarter, Glenn is a lame duck HC next year. Do you think he'll be fired after 6-7 games? I think it could be possible. I think it's also possible that they'll just let him play it out. Just say, play out the season. Woody fired Saleh in season because he wanted to try to turn things around and thought that might light a fire or something. That's the only reason he did that. I don't think he's going to have that same mentality with Glenn. If he sees it go bad, I have to imagine the fact that Darren Muji traded these picks and brought in a boatload of 27 first, he had to tip his hand to Woody a little bit and say, that's really going to be the draft where we put it together. I'm just letting you know. And Woody said, okay, it's not. Realistically looking at it, Woody knows he doesn't know football. He knows he's not a football guy. So he's probably saying, okay, we don't have the roster. I don't see how we could win games here. So yeah, load up on those picks and you got that time. But Aaron Glenn is not going to have the same leeway. He's not going to have the same leeway. If the team looks like a quit, if they just look like a disaster, if he's doing things on the sideline and having all these arguments with the media, yeah, I think Woody's going to say, all right, now you're making me look like a fool. I can't have that because he doesn't want to look like a fool. So yeah, I think he could last the season and then just immediately be fired. Or maybe not. Maybe then on the flip side of that, he could also say, we're going to fire you, after 7 games. We want to get a head start on getting the new guy in here and start doing research right now. That could also happen. And I think I would actually prefer that, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, Ashley, there you go. Thank you. She is the streams high offering. Let me update that on the other portion of the screen. What is Mendoza doing? He's already got them in Miami territory. On 2nd and 7. Throws over the middle. That is a first down. I really wish we were in a position to draft this guy, though. It hurts my heart. Hurts my heart. But yeah. March for Arch. I'm down with that. I am down with that. And that's another thing, if they know Arch Manning is going to be available. People are like, no, Woody, he's going to talk about. I heard Tyson Rouse talking about, Woody selling seats and advertising and all this stuff, and he's not going to want to look bad next year, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that, and I'm just like, he's got an opportunity to get a Manning here. That's going to be worth more to him than anything, and he's a businessman, and he has a guy who knows what he's doing in the front office. I don't know. It would seem silly for them to not have this, even have like a little bit of a discussion. Fernando Mendoza gets hit, gets rid of the football. You know what I mean? Tyson's correct about what? The next year about not, but yeah, he's right about that. They're not going to be able to make money. Sure, they're not going to be able to make, but I mean, make money. I mean, is Woody going to go broke? No, but I don't know that it's going to be a concern. Is what I'm saying. Tyson's absolutely right about that, but I don't know that it's going to be a concern. What he was talking about it was it's going to be a concern to Woody. That's where I disagree. I'm like, I don't think it will. I think Woody will have his eyes on the possible quarterback we can get, and I mean, you have a Manning as a New York Jet, you know how much money you're going to make. People are showing up to games. You're going to get advertising. You're not going to have to worry about any of that. You're going to make up for whatever you missed in that one season. Trust me. Yeah, Woody not being able to sell tickets. Yeah, and I think he knows that. I think Woody knows that. I don't think he's looking at this saying, "Oh man, we got to do whatever we can to sell tickets next year." No. Remember when the Panthers were giving away tickets for what, a quarter? Like, these are billionaires, man. Like, they know the situation. They can read the room. They know what's going on. Woody's not going to be shocked. Like, wait a minute, we don't have ticket sales? No, he knows the team's not good. He knows what position they're going to be in next year. He knows he's probably got a lame duck head coach. He knows he doesn't have a quarterback. He knows the roster's not good. He knows, because of Darren Muji, he knows there's an Arch Manning coming out. And is like, wow, all right, well, think about that. Would you forego a year of, maybe it's a little lean, right? You're living your life, it's a little lean, but the following year you're going to be raking in the dough? Would you just, keep things status quo? Trust me, Woody knows what is up. Is Woody a businessman like Jerry is a businessman? They're different. They would cut each other's throats, but they're, you guys should give a first to Green Bay. We're not giving a first to Green. We might actually have Green Bay's first in 27. Mike Tomlin's probably, I think he's going to be a Washington Commander. That makes the most sense to me. And that would make the most sense for him, honestly. He gets to get out of conference, go to the NFC. He's going to be back in the NFC with Harbaugh. I think that would feel comfortable for him. It'd be like an old sneaker. That was almost picked off in the end zone. Brady would have left the stadium. Brady would have been like, F this guy. Call the Jets. Come on. Let's go. Random thought. PFF ranked Denver's O-line as the best O-line. And that is the brilliance of Sean. What's that? Your stupid coach's name? What's that idiot's name? Sean Payton. That's the brilliance of Sean Payton. He went in and fixed that offensive line when it was a joke. That's the same thing Ben Johnson did in Chicago too, by the way. Went right in. Job one was, let's fix this offensive line. Kick is up and it's good. Indiana takes the lead. Will Jets fans put butts in seats and sell jerseys knowing it's a down year? No, Jets fans aren't good. I mean, listen, if you make the tickets cheap enough, some fans are still going to go. You're going to sell some tickets. But no, I mean, regardless, I don't know that Jet fans would be looking to go to games next year anyway. For what? They know the team's not going to win. They know the team's not going to be good. The only thing that would be egregious is if Woody is charging a ton of money for tickets, which he might. Who knows? He might still say, I don't care. I'm going to charge this much for tickets. Either buy them or don't. But this is what I'm charging. He might do that. He's, I'm not saying he's not a miser, you know what I mean? I could totally see him doing that. But as far as him being concerned about not selling tickets, no, I don't think he's going to be concerned. I mean, again, we're looking at this as a 2027. The second we got rid of Sauce and Quinnen, it was like, okay, 2027 is where we're going to live. It would have started this year if we had the first pick. But things are working out. The Dante Moore thing, that's perfect for us. And I don't know that Darren Muji would have gone Dante Moore. And he would have had every right to not go Dante Moore, especially after that last game. But there would have been pressure there. And then, with the media and everything, well, the Jets need a quarterback. They give up on a quarterback. And then, listing all the guy's stats. And then you're going to hear, well, he goes somewhere and then he lights it up. I mean, you can hear Sam Darnold's name. You can hear Geno Smith's name. Woody pays attention to that stuff. And that would aggravate him. I don't know that he would take it out on Muji, but that would aggravate him. But these guys know the deal. The only one that is at risk here, and he might not be privy to this, but we are, is Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn might be gone before we know it. And they're probably telling him, no, we're going to let you, we're going to see your vision through. You know, we're going to let you do whatever you need to do, Aaron. All right? Yeah, don't worry about it. But the writing's on the wall. If this team looks like it's a complete disaster again by week 10, there's a good chance you're going to be gone. I don't care. You can come out and say whatever you want. You can yell at the media all you want. You can give us all the platitudes and, you know, big ships turn slow and it's hard to put a truck in reverse. Oh, you can say whatever you want. It's not going to matter. But I need the Jet fans out there and the Jet content creators out there to just stop with the negative. I mean, like, I get it, man. I've been there. You guys have seen me. I get mad during the games when we have something to play for and we look like garbage. And if we have a head coach that's incompetent, believe me, I get as mad as anybody. But right now, we're in a different situation. We're in a different situation, and we need to look at the good, and the good comes in the form of this gentleman right here. Look at all the good that's right there. Look at that. Look at that smile. That is $1 billion smile. That's the man who's going to change the fortunes of everything. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. I'm going to laugh when the Jets make the playoffs next year when Rich is checked out a year in advance. I mean, if we make the playoffs next year, I'll be like, okay, cool, let's build from here. But I don't see it happening. I don't know how we would make the playoffs. I mean, come on. Well, it looks like we have one of the worst rosters in the league and one of the worst coaches in the league, maybe. Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know what Aaron Glenn is. He's in a bad situation. I know that. Could he all of a sudden show that he's a good coach? Great. Yeah, if he does that, fine. I'll be happy. If Aaron Glenn came out and these guys, like we had a bunch of no-names out there just playing their asses off and winning games, you think I'm not going to get fired up over that? Sure. I would say, all right, we don't need Arch. What other quarterbacks are out there that we can draft? Maybe we don't, maybe we stumble into somebody who all of a sudden can play. Now look at the Seattle Seahawks. Put together a great roster. Is Sam Darnold a fantastic quarterback? No. There's a reason Miami moved off of him. Sam Darnold's capable. He has elite moments, but man, he is turnover prone. He will turn the ball over in like an inopportune time. And if you don't have a roster around him that can, help overcome that, he's going to be in trouble. And maybe that's what Miami saw. Maybe Kevin O'Connell said, and now Sam Darnold might be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Fine. But again, remember Russell Wilson with Seattle. This could be a similar situation. Although I think Sam is probably better than Russell Wilson. But, Kevin O'Connell might have said, at least JJ, I can have him protect the football a little bit. And maybe, he was wrong about that. But the very wise and sage like Darren Muji, yes. What do I think of Detroit's OC hire? I honestly don't have an opinion on that. Could go either way. You know what I mean? It could go either way. We'll see how it goes. I don't hate it. I don't think Lions fans should be hanging it, just hanging it up already, saying, "Oh, we're screwed." Let's just kind of see how it plays out. While the Bills and Pats, with the Bills and Pats in the same division, it'll be hard for the Jets to make the playoffs soon. Maybe not soon. Again, things change quickly in the NFL. Maybe not soon. But next year, does anybody realistically think the Jets will have a shot at the division next year? Or a shot at the wild card next year? Does anybody realistically think that by October we're not looking at Tankathon saying, okay, we just need to make sure this team wins so that they're not close to the first round pick? That's where we're going to be next year. Most likely, there's a 99.5% chance that happens. And then in 2027, we're going to be looking at likely a situation with a new head coach and new hope and a draft where we're looking to grab a quarterback, hopefully number one. That's where we are. He was in Arizona last. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I like that they didn't hire from within again. That's what they did last time. They just promoted from within. Bring somebody else in, Maybe with this roster, he can make things happen. That ball is tipped and almost picked off. You think we'll have more wins than this year? I do not. I don't. The schedule is tough. And again, in 20 whatever it was with man, what the hell was it? Rich Kotite. Back in the Rich Kotite days, the Jets went 3-13, had the first overall pick, took Keyshawn Johnson, and then managed to put up a worse record that year with the number 1 overall pick on the roster. I think we could be looking at the same thing. Glenn starts winning games this year, it means half the AFC is tanking. Also, look, the Jets were in we're in some close games. They were in their share of close games, and special teams ended up winning those games. Their special teams unit is elite. Glenn was a special teams player. Maybe that's his strength. Maybe we can build the best special teams unit in the entire universe. Who knows? But I'm looking at the situation for what it is. There's no way I'm going to hang my head and say we're screwed forever. We're not. And that's the take of Jets fans. And it makes me a little sad for them, because why would you do that? Why would you want to have that mentality? Just look at what is salvageable right now. And again, the fact that we have him, I don't think I'm blindly looking at Darren Muji as capable. I started liking Darren Muji when he started making moves, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Oh, he's switching, he's trading picks, getting Michael Carter off the roster, who we wanted off the roster, dumping that salary. I mean, he was doing things that we've never seen a Jets GM do, dumping salary and then bringing in a guy like John Mechie for a pick swap. It was like, that's smart. Okay. Good job. And that's not the only time. That's not the only thing he did. His draft class wasn't bad. You got Membu. Joe Douglas took 1,000,000 swings at offensive line. Couldn't get it right. Muji drafts Membu. He might have been, he has the possibility, he's not going to be rookie of the year, but he was in the conversation. Brings in Mason Taylor, who looks good. And then, the draft class wasn't bad. Draft class wasn't bad at all. And now he's got a lot of draft capital. So I'm happy to, offseason, dumped a lot of salary. The way he constructed that Sauce Gardner contract and then dumped it. And now it's all on Indy to pay that. We don't have to pay it. He's going to get some, salary cap space unloaded next year when we dump the Justin Fields and Aaron Glenn contracts. Smart. All smart, all very wise and sage-like. And here we go. 1:06 left in the first. 2nd and 16 for Fernando Mendoza. Takes the snap, handoff. 1 yard up the gut. Get that long snapper. Yeah, give me a good long snapper. I'll be happy with that. Be happy with anything. Jets ought to hire Sean McDermott as defensive coordinator. He's going to be up for another head coaching job, I think. With that coaching record he had, I can't imagine somebody's not going to bring him in as a head coach. But you never know. We'll see. We'll see. Loco should get Denver to give up on PS2. Nice pass by Mendoza. To Memby, they get like 3 yards. All right. We are going into the second quarter. So, yeah. I'm sorry to make this Jets heavy again. But, I'm a Jets fan. We got a draft coming up. We got Fernando Mendoza here, who, if he looks bad, who knows? There could be conversations of the Raiders giving up on him. We'll see. Eberflus is going to the Jets, right, Rich? No. Move Baal. Yes, I got to move Baal. Baal hasn't been moved. There he is. This movie Send Help looks pretty fun. Well, I'm watching people like in a plane crash, and I'm saying it looks fun. But I mean, as a horror movie, as a horror type movie, it looks fun. That quarter went fast, as Samuel Miller. All right. This is a long preview. I think she's going to try to kill him. I think that's what's going to happen. So for the Super Bowl, we've got quite a few previews that are going to be. We're going to have the Avengers Doomsday preview trailer. We're going to have Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. So I'm going to keep a close eye on the Super Bowl commercials when we're here. I keep a close eye, and there's going to be silence for me as those trailers are playing out, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. But we've got a 45-minute halftime coming up, likely, for this game. It's hard for me to get excited about college football. You know what I mean? It's hard when you don't have a rooting interest or like a team that you hate. It's always nice when I'm watching the Patriots and I'm just hate watching them, or watching the Bears. And it's like you want the Bears to win because they haven't won in a long time, and you know, it's fun. With college football, like it's still football, it's still fun. But, you know, the teams change so much every year. Guys go to the NFL, you don't know if guys are actually really good or not. Matt Patricia, the new DC in Green Bay. Yes, Sean Cantrell breaking the news. Excellent. Oh, you soldier. Congratulations. Pencils for everyone. I need a hat so I can put a pencil in it. That's excellent. You're going to have people wearing cheese heads with pencils sticking out of them. That's the best thing that could have happened. The great Matt Patricia. Let's see. Ashley comes in with a 5 versus the second quarter. Which Avengers are in the new movie? That is up for debate. But we have X-Men in the new movie, and I know Cyclops is going to be there. I know Professor X is going to be there. I know Gambit's going to be there. Likely Wolverine. So as far as Avengers go, there's going to be Thor. Steve Rogers is definitely in it because we've been told Steve Rogers will return. Don't know if Black Widow is going to be in it. Don't know if Hawkeye is going to be in it. So I know Thor. We don't even know if Star-Lord's going to be in it. He's not an Avenger, but we know Thor and Steve Rogers are going to be there. Hulk isn't. Hulk is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, though. Is he not going to be in Doomsday? But maybe he'll be. He has to be in one of them. He has to be in Secret Wars, maybe. I can't imagine they're going to keep Hulk. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, he's going to go savage again in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So why they would give us Savage Hulk and then not bring him back in these movies would be a bit of a head scratcher. That would be a bit of a head scratcher. Ashley, the queen of the stream. My liege, we're going to get that updated. I got it updated over here. Thank you very much. So who else is going to be in Avengers Dooms? Well, we know the Fantastic Four is going to be there. We know the Wakandans are going to be there. We know Namor, the Submariner, is going to be there. These are all good things. And I mean, Robert Downey Jr. being here, are we going to get a Tony Stark situation? Perhaps. Baal, do you need to move? Baal needs to move, yes. So I'm very excited about this. Very excited about this doomsday situation. And Indiana's defense stops Miami on 3rd and 2. Hulk remembering Peter confirmed. Yeah, I heard that. Hulk is going to remember him, not Banner. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that little tidbit. Jeremy JB smashed the like button. Jeremy is a Packers fan also. We are rich with Packers fans. I hope they don't have Channing Tatum play Gambit. I actually didn't hate Channing Tatum as Gambit. I got a kick out of it. And I didn't like the look. He kind of looked very cosplayish to me, though. But him, I actually thought he pulled off the voice pretty well. So, you know, I have appreciation for it because he's a big Gambit fan. He wanted to do it for a long time, and he takes the role seriously. So, all right, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think when they reset it, they're going to give us a new Gambit, though. He's not going to be a long-term Gambit. So what they're going to do is say, well, this is the Gambit from this universe, you know, so we can have Gambit in here. But when they reset it, we're going to get all new X-Men. But they're saying maybe not Wolverine, which doesn't make sense to me. We'll see. I mean, I would think that they should give us a new young Wolverine, and you know, maybe have some multiversal if they want to keep Hugh Jackman around. But yeah, the Gambit is Channing Tatum's Gambit. The last Cap movie was a Hulk movie. Yeah, it was the Red Hulk. I didn't even see that. I saw just bits and pieces of the Hulk parts. So yeah. Nightcrawler is back. That's right. Nightcrawler's back. We're gonna have Sentinels, it looks like. The new Avengers, right? So we're gonna have Sentry and Red Guardian and all those guys. Bucky, who's probably gonna die because he's gonna be Harvey Dent in the Batman 2. So I hope they make Wolverine actually short. I don't think he needs to be comic book accurate short because they kind of did that in Deadpool and Wolverine. They gave us a glimpse of what that would look like, and it looked ridiculous. Like he came off the bar stool and he was like Wolverine height. And it just like in live action, in the comic book it looks fine. In live action, it doesn't look great. So I think he's got to be, you know, maybe a little bit shorter than people, but he can't be comic book accurate height. But yeah, like he also shouldn't be 6'4" Wolverine either. I think with Tony Stark, there's going to be a lot of Lost in Space where they find all these data files of all these videos he left for people. Yeah, maybe they could do that. They're going to, you know, they're also going to go multiverse heavy, I think, because, you know, the incursions and whatnot. So, you know, Doom's going to, apparently from what I understand, Doom is going to convince Avengers somewhere that these incursions are happening because of the X-Men's universe. And then yeah, I've heard so many different theories. But apparently he's going to fool the Avengers in some way and put together like an Avengers team. We might get the Avenger, you know, whatever they were, the Infinity War Avengers or the Infinity Avengers from the first What If series where they kind of put together that team. We might get that. We're probably going to get Captain Carter too. So they're going to be all these variants. They're going to be all of these variants from what I understand. And then they're going to figure out that Doctor Doom is, you know, a bad guy. Kind of founded the New Avengers. That was a fun movie. Thunderbolts slash New Avengers was a good movie. And Mendoza gets the ball off. That's a first down for Indiana. Got to move ball. That was a good movie. I just hope they nail this. I heard 3 hours and 40 minutes. I think it's going to be more along the lines of 3 hours and 15 minutes. I think 3 hours and 40 minutes seems like a long time. Like, I love comic book movies, but man, almost 4 hours sitting there, like that's got to be. You're going to have to nail every section of that story to keep people interested. Everything is Doctor Strange's fault. He's always messing around with everything. Well, that's going to be, apparently what happened with Spider-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Was that the last one? With Doctor Strange? Or was that Far? No, it was No Way Home. Far From Home was the one before it. That's apparently going to be one of the reasons why catch made on 2nd and 10. It's gonna be about 3rd and 2 coming up. That's gonna be one of the reasons why they're why Doom is all PO'd and whatnot. You should tune in. PFD or future defensive players are fire in this game. Yeah, I'm seeing little Ruben Bain action. I want Arvell Reese or Caleb Downs, and neither of them are playing in this game, so that's why I'm a little like, I don't love Ruben Baines. Who else are we looking at though here? And Indiana gets the first down. Eric Jason says we need Coach McDermott next season. Eric Jason, are you a Jets fan? Are you a Jets fan? Who do you support? Let me know. You can stack 3 Kyler Murrays and they still wouldn't be the same height as stupid Josh Allen. Seahawks versus Cardinals. Play-by-play. Frank Castle kills all Phase 4 characters. Best movie ever. It's going to be cool to see The Punisher with some of these metahumans. That's going to be interesting. And then, they're saying Sadie Sink. It's possible Sadie Sink could be playing Jean Grey. I've heard a bunch of different names for her. Mayday Parker maybe. But Jean Grey sounds interesting. I don't know if that'll be it though. Irony, you're doing an IU college football game, but I don't think you did an Indianapolis Colts game all season. Did I? I don't think I did a Colts game all season. I will. I'm going to be doing a lot more NFL games next season, though. I did. I started out Jets heavy. I did most of the primetime games. But I think what I'm going to do next season, depending on the time I have, of course, is put up polls in Patreon or something. See what games you guys want me to stream in the either early or late windows or both, and do that, but then also keep an eye on the other games. Second Venom series where Punisher just decides to axe him was so much fun. That's another thing, is they're saying Venom. It's possible that Venom is that like the Tom Hardy Venom is done. So we know that in Sony. They're not going to make any more of those movies, but in the MCU, if they bring a Venom back, which they might, they're not going to go the Tom Hardy route. But they, one of the things that I heard is he's not going to be a villain though. They're going to bring him in, and he's going to be just there as like a hero. And I want a legit Venom origin story in the MCU. All right, tackle for a loss against Indiana. Very nice. I remember watching X-Men cartoon on Saturday mornings. Have you seen X-Men 97, Brandon Smith? If you liked the X-Men cartoon on Saturday mornings, go watch the first season of X-Men 97. The new season is going to be coming out soon. But that was elite. It was elite. It was perfect. I absolutely loved it. Venom as a villain is the best. Yes. Yes. He was insane as a villain. I don't know why they ever made him a like lethal protector garbage. I hated that. And then he's, all of a sudden, it's like, no, I only kill anybody who gets in my way when I'm trying to get to Spider-Man. It's like, that doesn't add up to what you originally were, man. Come on. We're going to get King in Black event. You know what, man? If they do, no, they have to build up to him like a big bad. They can't just throw him in like they did in the third Venom movie. Like, oh yeah, by the way, this guy's here. Like, he's such a cool character. You have to build up to him and make him, like a Thanos level threat. If they do that in the MCU, but Sony technically owns the character, but we'll see. But when they reset this whole Marvel situation, they better give us they should right away, first of all, give us a legit Norman Osborn Green Goblin story with Gwen Stacy, and then go right into Venom. That's what I would do. You can give us 2 trilogies of that, and and then you can have the street level villains. But I'm hearing they're going to start introducing. So Sony, they have a deal. There's something with Sony where they're going to start introducing these Spider-Man villains and characters in. Like, Sony's going to allow that. So they might allow. So we might get some of these street level Spider-Man villains in Daredevil. So we'll see that. The Sadie Sink thing, I don't think is actually confirmed yet. They've been saying Jean Grey. They've been saying a whole bunch of characters, but I don't think we know who she actually is. I know there was a trailer that leaked, and I saw it, and it doesn't really give you any information about who she is. She might. They're saying she might be like a Punisher character from the Punisher comics. Yeah, they ruined Gore the God Butcher. They nerfed him. Gore the God Butcher is such a cool character, and they were just kind of like, let's make jokes. They dropped the ball in that final issue. The Black Knight's blade should have been the weapon to kill Null. Disney needs to reset a lot. Yeah, they need to reset the Star Wars stuff. That went off the rails. Just give us, Mark Hamill talking to J.J. Abrams about, hey, or we have a movie where Leia, Han, and Luke they're going to be in it again. So we're going to have a scene where they get together, and he's like, nah, we're not going to do that. And it's just like, what? Okay, so on her leaving Lucasfilms, I don't think that shocks me. But the changes to Disneyland, I want that over here. The Star Wars land is it's boring, man. Like, Star Wars is episodes 4, 5, and 6. Right? Like, that's what got us into Star Wars. Those are the characters that are the beloved characters. Like, sure, there are characters that have been introduced since then that we like, and we're like, cool, There's some of them that we even love. But those are we should be walking around and seeing Han and Leia and Chewie and C-3PO and R2 and Luke and then you could sprinkle in some of these other characters, but we should be seeing a lot of that. And you don't get that there. It looks like a deserted town you're walking through. It's so depressing. They don't even play the John Williams music, yeah. But as far as her leaving, I didn't like a lot of stuff that she was doing and wanted to do. So, I'm fine with that. Get rid of Kevin Feige, not sure of the spelling, and hire Rich. I know, Kevin Feige, I love Kevin Feige. I think Kevin Feige, as the head of Marvel, the problem was Disney wanted so much content, and Feige couldn't have his hands in it. Big run by Indiana. That's a first down. The problem was Feige he couldn't keep track of everything. They wanted to do She-Hulk. They're doing all these different shows, and it's like She-Hulk's a really cool character, but they watered it down. They could have done an amazing She-Hulk, and they dropped the ball on it. And then even same thing with Kang. Like they introduced Kang, and Kang's supposed to be the next Thanos level threat, and he gets taken out by a group of giant ants in Ant-Man. And you're like, what are they doing? There was no time to go through the scripts. There was no time to fine-tune these things. The special effects were garbage. We're getting Professor Hulk everywhere. It was terrible. And Mendoza gets the ball off. Indiana to Becker. Does he get in the end zone? Indiana scores. What a run after the catch. That was powerful. Indiana gets in for their first touchdown. Miami's tackling is pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. He's out of bounds. Okay, so it's not going to be a touchdown. That is not going to be a touchdown. What's up, Robert Bradburn? Good to see you, man. Disney DEI. Yes. Exactly. They didn't keep it special, right? They rushed out characters and right when subpar movies, and people got tired. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was silly. It was silly what they did. I liked the Daredevil Born Again, but I don't like what they did with Muse. And they changed writers and everything so that at the end of the season, the new writers came in because what they did with Muse was stupid. Muse is an excellent character, man. Muse is like OP. And they just made him a crazy guy and then wiped him out. And it's, oh my God, aggravated me. He is such a threat to Daredevil, and they took all that away from him. They nerfed him more than they nerfed any other character, I think. If you know anything about Muse, and you see what they did to him in Daredevil Born Again, you're going to be furious. I mean, come on. Hate me all you want. No, I don't hate anybody. People have said Solo's pretty good. People have said Rogue One's pretty good. But they're not like the level of like Star Wars was epic, man. These could have been fun movies. Fine. That's cool. But that story should have been, every release should have been just an epic thing. It should have continued the story. It should have kept us on our toes. But they were just like, let's throw all this content out there. And everything was watered down. It was quantity over quality, and that's never a good idea. First and goal. No. Indiana loaded up on NIL and went all in with the Dev League roster. If you like Rogue One, you need to watch Andor. I heard Andor was pretty good too, actually. Heard Andor was pretty good. I saw Star Wars in the theater on opening night by mistake. Wow, Samuel Miller. That's awesome. That is awesome. Here is Mendoza on the 4-yard line. They get down to the 1, 3rd and goal from the 1 coming up. Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 was my childhood. Me too. Man, I was just crazy about Star Wars. I was Darth Vader for Halloween with the plastic mask that you couldn't breathe through and the trash bag over you that had Darth Vader's picture on it. and no lightsaber because they didn't make lightsabers back then. So yeah. It was such a big deal when Return of the Jedi came out, man. It was just like, oh, but I know people were mad at the Ewoks and everything, but they didn't really take away from the movie. I didn't mind the Ewok stuff. I thought it was cool. I saw it when I was a kid anyway, so. But then when episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out, I was so excited. And I remember walking out of the theater. I remember thinking the kid from The Sixth Sense should have played Anakin, because I was like, this kid is a little too cheery. But then I'm like, all right, maybe they're going for this thing where it's like we're going to see this change. I didn't like the movies. I thought Qui-Gon Jinn was my favorite character. I thought he was awesome. I thought Ewan McGregor was a good choice for Obi-Wan, though. I fell off all the nerd stuff. Need to catch up on so many comics. Yeah, me too. Samuel Miller, my brother and I wanted to see another movie, but it was rated R, so we thought, well, what is this Star Wars? That's pretty good. Do you remember what movie you wanted to go see? I'm curious about that. Robert Bradburn says, I was born the perfect year, 1978. Still Gen X, but grew up in the 80s and 90s. I mean, you're with me, man. We are the same. Robert, what's your favorite football team, by the way? I saw it the first week it came out, says Ashley. As a kid, when my parents realized I hadn't seen Star Wars, Dad had to fix our Betamax player. Oh, awesome. It was the only non-VHS tape in the house. I was in love with A New Hope within 5 minutes. Yeah. I mean, it was epic. It was epic. And they got so far away from it. Return of the Jedi was one of the first cinema experiences I remember. Yeah, I remember Return of the Jedi pretty vividly. Cults. All right, Robert Bradburn is a Cults fan. Look at that. I walked out of the Phantom Menace on opening day with my brother and said, what the hell was that? Yeah, I was just, first of all, the name. When I first heard the name, I was like, what? The Phantom Menace. What does that mean? And I was like, okay, I'm sure George Lucas knows what he's doing. And then watching the movie, and I'm just like, I really want this to be good. And it's not. And it's driving me crazy. It's kind of the same way I felt with Batman versus Superman. I wanted that movie to be good so bad. And I was like watching that movie, and I was trying so hard to be like, yes, what positive things could I take away from this? It's kind of like what I'm doing with the Jets right now, I guess. But I had to come to terms that it was just a bad movie. Now I hate it. Now I hate everything about it. George Lucas really ruined his own creation, though Darth Jar Jar would have been epic. Darth Jar Jar would have been awesome. That theory, like, that could have fixed everything, man. That could have fixed everything, no lie. But no, they didn't do that. They could do that. They can go back and fix this. That would have been awesome. And now Indiana's in the end zone, and they will take a 9-0 lead. I'm sure it will soon be a 10-0 lead. Dominant start. Look at that. Darth Jar Jar don't play. He's the real legend. Yeah. Darth Jar Jar would be awesome. They made Darth Jar Jar in Lego, did they? That needs to be part of the actual lore. That's the way you fix so much. And I would love him. They're doing a Darth Maul series too, aren't they? Which is kind of interesting. The dark side, so understand. 10-0. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar would have been elite. Fullback dive, touchdown. There we go. Touchdown, Indiana. If it was Darth Jar Jar, then the whole Phantom thing would have been great, and he would have been epic, an epic Sith fooling Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Yeah. Yeah, and then you go back and watch that movie through a different lens. And it turns the movie around. But no, we don't have that. I remember Kevin Smith put out a Clerks cartoon, which if you ever have an opportunity to watch that, it's phenomenal. It was on Fox for like a second. They did like 5 episodes and then they canceled it. But I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was so good. It was right up my alley. And in one of the episodes, Randall, I don't know if he's having a dream or what, but he's got George Lucas in a courtroom and he's got him on the stand. and he's like just drilling him about Jar Jar Binks. And George Lucas is like, well, my kids thought it was, and he's like, no, it's a bad idea. Just admit it right now. I was like, yes, please. Lego Star Wars The Dark Falcon, number 75389. I have a buddy who collects a lot of the Star Wars Lego stuff. I gotta ask him if he has that. Clerks 1 and 2 movies were awesome. Yeah. So for me, I liked Clerks and Mallrats the most. Then I saw Chasing Amy. I thought Chasing Amy was good. A friend of mine in Chasing Amy, his artwork, it's Batman and Robin panels that he drew. And they're pencil sketches. You see them in the background when he's in his apartment having an argument. You see them on his wall in the background. It's 10-0. Maybe you're behind, Kathy, who thinks every football game ever starts at 1 p.m. Score's fixed, but I do got to move the ball. Score is correct, right? Yeah, score's correct. The hell are you talking about? Dogma, yeah. George Carlin was in that. Dogma was pretty good. Did you guys see that, what was it, Tusk by Kevin Smith? That was pretty bad. The idea of it was awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Is Ashley still here? I got to tell Ashley something. Because she asked the question the other day. And it occurred to me that she asked the question about books. And sometimes in the moment, like somebody asked me about my favorite bands the other day. And in the moment, I have a hard time answering it. But then when I have time to think about it, like these things come to me. But she asked a question about what book series she could read. And I have the perfect answer for her right now, unless she's read it already. Alan Rickman was in Dogma. I don't remember a lot of Dogma. I do remember seeing it. But Kevin Smith is, I grew up kind of near him. And Miami cannot move the football. I think Miami is going to go for it. The voice of God, okay. Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Is that movie? Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with V.E. Schwab, but Vicious. And then Villains. If you like X-Men, you're going to love those books. You can thank me later. Vicious. Elite story. Elite. And I'm telling you, if you like X-Men, you're going to love this story. And it's written well, because I like the way she writes. Kevin was my hero, then dropped off hard. Yeah, he's a vegan. Saved his life, actually. But, a lot of his newer stuff. Like Tusk, I didn't like. I love the idea. And then I know that there's like the Canadian trilogy he did that has Tusk with it. But not a fan of those. But I like Kevin Smith. Nice play on fourth down. Oh, that was first down by Miami. Excuse me. Do you remember the Batman show from 1966? Of course. I met Adam West when I was working in news. He came in for an interview. And I just remember seeing him walk in. I've told this story before. I remember seeing him walk in. And I was like, oh my God. Somebody's doing an interview with Adam West here. And then he went into the office that was near my area where I was working. I was a production assistant at the time. And did somebody tell my cousin's driving me crazy right now. Tell me to fix the score when the score is correct. She's driving me up a wall right now. But anyway, the score is correct, okay? I remember hearing the door open behind me as I'm working, and I hear Adam West's voice say, "Where's Rich?" And I was like, Oh my God, Adam West is looking for me right now. And PFA took a picture on her phone, and then it wasn't good. It was a close up. But I have an actual picture of us. I have it somewhere. I'm going to show you guys one day. But it was like when phones first came out, you could take pictures, so it's very blurry, but you could tell it's me and Adam West. Yes. Now, I've read Vicious. I haven't read Villains, but I have it. And the only reason I haven't read it is because I was so depressed when I finished Vicious that I didn't want to start the second book because I don't want it to end. But I'm going to read that soon. I have it. Yeah, I just sitting there just waiting to be read. And I'm so scared to read it because I don't want it to end. But Vicious is one of my favorite books ever. And I'm sure Villains is going to be just as good. Did they ever make a third book of that? I don't know. She had another series with Matt. Let me see. V.E. Schwab. I met her too. Yeah, Vicious 2013. Vengeful. And then there is the Darker Shade of Magic series. So yeah, I don't know. Does Vicious and Vengeful have a third book? Let me see if she came out with another one. Let's see. Oh, yes, she is releasing a third book in 2026 titled Victorious. So now I'm going to read Vengeful. Oh, I can't wait. That's awesome. I'm so glad that I remembered to tell you that because you're going to thank me for that. But there's the Darkest Shade of Magic series, which I started reading from her, but I couldn't get into it. It wasn't bad, but I just had a hard time getting into it. I might give that another run. But if you like Vicious and then you read Vengeful and you like that, check out the Darkest Shade of Magic series. You'll probably like that too. I don't know that I gave it a fair chance. It was very interesting, but I think I was just distracted. You know what it was I wanted it to be Vicious and it wasn't. I think that's my problem. Still jealous of you meeting the real Batman. He was so nice. He called me Pilgrim and everything. Oh man, he was so cool. Why did I think she was your aunt? No, yeah, she used to come on with my aunt. She used to come on with my aunt. Yeah, check those out. Let me know what you think of them when you start reading them. Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie is he aggravated me. House of a Thousand Corpses, man, I was so into that. I thought House of a Thousand Corpses was great, and then I heard they were going to come out with a sequel. I was like, oh, and I thought it was going to be all like demonic and everything, and with monsters, and no, they didn't do that. And I was like, what are you doing? Did you even watch the first movie you made? Because it almost feels like they just hired some different guy. And he didn't watch the movie. And then he made this one. And then what he did to Halloween was just, I'll never forgive him for that. Never forgive him for that. That Halloween series doesn't exist to me. Does not exist. Worst. And they actually wanted to make a third movie with him. It was like, what are you thinking? I don't know, man. Like, and apparently he lied about what John Carpenter said. John Carpenter was like, what, the story he tells, like, I did not say that to him. He acts like he told John Carpenter that he was making a Halloween movie, and John Carpenter was kind of a jerk about it. John Carpenter was like, I never said any of that. Makes me mad. So did I equate Kevin Smith turning vegan to him dropping off? No, I think he dropped off and then he turned vegan and now he's back on again. Thank you, Loco. Getting your blade out there. Rob Zombie's defense, he was probably on a shit ton of drugs. Yeah, so Devil's Rejects. I hated it. Please. I was just like, what are you doing? And I was kind of excited when I heard he was going to do Halloween. I was like, all right. I was thinking it was going to be all like 70s and whatnot. Like, and then we got, I don't know, Hellbilly Hellbilly Halloween. And it was like, okay, what is this? This isn't. So the kid's wearing a giant Michael Myers mask as a kid? That doesn't make sense. Rob, can we talk? Oh. 40 seconds left in the second, 4th and 2. Stephen King was better when he was on. I thought he was just a drunk. Was he on actual drugs? I didn't know that he was on actual drugs. But his early stuff was awesome. But Joe Hill, I don't know if you read any Joe Hill stuff, Loco. I think you would like it. If you read Nosferatu is one of my favorite books. What I'm reading right now, King Sorrow. I love that. It's a really really cool story. Uh, Let me give you. I can give you a quick synopsis of it. It's not giving anything away because it's basically what if you just read the back cover, it's going to say this. But it's about a group of college age kids who bring a dragon forth, and he is pretty vicious. It's awesome. Oh, and Miami misses the field goal. Terrible. Terrible. Love Maximum Overdrive. Favorite movie. The Richard Matheson. The Richard Matheson story is awesome. Read the short story. You'll like that. Oh no, wait, Maximum Overdrive, was that Stephen King? Yes, that was Stephen King. Sorry, Richard Matheson was something else. I was thinking of his short story about the truck driver, but Maximum Overdrive was that was a good short story too. Actually, that was a Stephen King short story. That was in the hell book was that? I don't remember. It was the one with the Children of the Corn was in it also. I want a dragon. You don't want this dragon, soldier. I promise you. You do not want King Sorrow. King Sorrow is not. He's not a pet. He's going to try to make you solve riddles, and it doesn't end well. You drink Listerine and cough syrup. Wow, my God. But there was also another Joe Hill book, Nosferatu. I thought was awesome. Heart Shaped Box was really good. Horns was actually pretty good. It's not my favorite one by him, but Horns was pretty good. And then he has a great short story called Best New Horror. And that's in the one that's got the black phone. So if you ever see a short story book with the black phone, it's like, 10 pages or whatever. But Best New Horror, I would love for them to make a movie out of that. I think that's the best short story, one of the best short stories I've ever read. And I didn't like the black phone short story that much. I didn't really care for the movie. I have no interest in seeing the second one. If they were going to make any one of his short stories from that book into a movie, Best New Horror would have been the best. Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms. Yes. That was a great line. Loved it. I'm back from my first 10-hour shift at number 56 hours, baby. Raw. Now my legs hurt. Who is ready for the rematch of the season's greatest games? Rams versus the Sea Chickens. Your number one contender, Rowdy Eggplant, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him. There he is, followed by Melissa Klein, Samuel Miller, Mike Causey, and dude, I'm sorry, Samuel Miller, you're here. I should have put this up. Oh, man, I apologize. My mind is all over the place tonight. Sorry about that. So sorry about that. Is it the Children of the Corn book? I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's the one with Children of the Corn in it. I don't remember what it's called either. There are a lot of good stories in that, though. I mentioned one of them in one of the videos that I did. What was it? It might have been the Lions curse. Not the 0-16 Lions, the one that I did about the Lions curse. I haven't read The Fireman, no. I haven't read The Fireman. Did anybody read that? Is that good? I heard about it, and the synopsis didn't grab me. That's the only reason why I didn't read it. We're at half face. Oh, we got 45 minutes to kill. Let's see. Is Kathy still here? Is she at half face too, or is she like 15 minutes behind me? Here we are. Mario Cristobal. He does not look happy. He does not look happy. Well, Fernando Mendoza is not exactly lighting the world up right now, so maybe Tom Brady's not impressed. He's like George St. Pierre. That's a deep cut. Ferd St. Pierre saying, I'm not impressed by your performance. 11/22/63 is a Stephen King story. Yeah, and I heard people said that is one of the best stories out there, but I don't have any interest in reading that for some reason. My favorite, I would say my favorite King book is probably, it's Pet Sematary, followed by Salem's Lot, Misery. Misery might be second, actually. Salem's Lot, The Shining. Those are all really good. I mean, just insane stories. Samuel Miller's going to run to the grocery store during halftime. Well, let us know what you got when you come back. I demand to know. I want to know everything. Read it right off the receipt if you can. Night Shift. Oh, yes. That's the name of the book. That's the name of the short story book, Night Shift. Yeah, Pet Sematary was really good. And then they had the remake recently, which they kind of flipped things around. John Lithgow was in it. I didn't really like that. I really wish George R.R. Martin would focus on finishing his books instead of buying all of Santa Fe. This is going to surprise some of you, but I am not a Game of Thrones fan. Game of Thrones fan. I started reading it. I couldn't get into it. Started watching the show. I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. Maybe I have to give it another shot. But it just didn't jive with me for some reason. Something about it just didn't. It was like, I don't care for this. I don't know. And I gave it a good chance. Give it a couple of chances. But sometimes that happens with me. I'm like, I don't really care for this. And then I'll give it time. Then I'll give it another chance. And I'll say, I don't really care for it again. Then I'll give it another chance. And I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. What was I thinking? So I think that's what needs to happen with that. So I got Absolute Batman Arkham. Oh, wait. Because of the green screen. Look at that. Well, I got this cover too. Absolute Batman Arkham. Haven't read this yet. This Absolute Batman stuff is pretty sick how it's taken off the way it did. Pretty sick that it's taken off. This may shock you. I'm not a fan of reading, being the fact that I'm dyslexic. Do you do audiobooks though? Could you do audiobooks? So it's hard for you to follow, right? Like, is that pretty much what happens? Or when you're looking at stuff on a page, where you can follow like a story if it's being read to you, I'm assuming. It's basically War of the Roses with fantasy elements. Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. I don't love it. I've never seen a second of Game of Thrones, says Sean Cantrell. Yeah, and people love it. People love it. I remember a friend of mine was like, you have to watch this. I like to, if there's a book of something, I like to read the book because the book's going to give you so much more. That's why, why I started reading Twilight is because the movie was coming out. I kind of saw the book around. It was like in the fantasy section or whatever. Not fantasy, but like, I don't know what it was. Young adult romance or whatever. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's a vampire story. All right. But like, I had no interest in it. I didn't think it was horror, But then I saw previews and everything, and I kind of felt like, oh, maybe this has a horror element. And then people were like, oh, there's a werewolf. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So then we were going to PFA's brother's house one night, and they're like, hey, let's watch Twilight. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm expecting kind of like a vampire-y, like werewolf movie, and then we got what we got. And I was like, it was interesting. It interested me. And then I said, I have to read the book because I need to know more about this world and why these vampires exist and what this is. What this is. The Raiders just traded the number 1 pick for Lamar, says John Connor from the future. Whoa, he knows. He came in, he's battling Terminators, and he took a step back and said, hey, I need to report this news to people. That's a good trade. That is a good trade. Good for the Raiders. So now the Ravens are going to Draft Fernando Mendoza, I assume. So I got the book and I got into it. And then I read the second one and I was like, okay, this is good. Like I finished the first one, I read the second. Well, at the end of the first one, they had like a chapter leading to the second one. So after I read that chapter, I was like, I got to read the second one now because it just left on a cliffhanger. So I read the second one, I was into it. And then by the time I read the third one, I threw the book across the room because there was a part in it where I got mad. And I had to finish it and I read the fourth one. But I think the story fell off. I think she should have kept the whole Edward and Jacob thing going with Bella. But she made it weird. She made it so weird. And I was just like, what is this? What? But you know, it was pretty good. The story was good up until that point. And then I didn't really care for the story that much. But the Harry Potter series, I read all those books. I know Loco's a big Harry Potter fan. I know it's not Stephen King, but I'm still waiting for a big budget adaptation of At the Mountains of Madness. Okay, so that is the thing. That is the thing, basically. So it happened with John Carpenter. So go check it out if you haven't. And it was, there was another guy. So there were two stories that came out. I did a video on this. It's up on Patreon. There was a guy who wrote a story called Who Goes There around the same time H.P. Lovecraft wrote At the Mountains of Madness. And they're similar stories, and it's basically The Thing. So it's like when The Thing from Another Planet came out, The Thing from Another World, John Carpenter went to see that, and he was mad that it wasn't like that story. So he was like, one day I'm going to make this movie. And then he did. And he made it true to the Lovecraft version, I believe. Not. So it's weird because we don't know if they just put out a similar story at the same time or if one was inspired by the other. You know? It's pretty crazy though. Ashley comes in. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff's Party. I'm so used to saying Ashley's name. Jeff's Party, what's up? Aliens just attacked the White House. It's Aaron Glenn's fault. He should have flew up to the top of the earth to stop them. What is that man doing right now? Anyway, he should. If you can't run a football team, at least try to protect the earth, right? Jeff's Party, thank you for letting us know. We're getting all kinds of breaking news tonight. The Ravens traded the first pick. The Ravens traded Lamar for the first pick. Aliens are attacking the earth, and Aaron Glenn's doing nothing about it. Come on. This is insane what's happening in the world right now. Thank you, Jeff's Party. We got some elite reporters in the Demonverse. I got to tell you, I really appreciate you guys keeping me up to date on all this stuff. Good to see you, Jeff's Party. He is a Cowboys fan. Jeff's Party, have you paid any attention to who the Cowboys could possibly draft? I would like your and I understand if you haven't, so that's cool too. But if you have, let me know because I like getting these little takes from people just to see. Thank you so much, Jeff's Party. Appreciate it, man. Very good to see you. Who goes there? All right, 5 minute break. Not 5 minute break. What am I talking about? 60-second break. I'll be right back. We got like another 75 minutes of halftime anyway, so I'll be back quickly. All right. Here we are. All hail Lord Cher. Indeed, my head's getting cold, so the hood goes up. Yes, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. Your Lord Chair has some strong opinions about Sean McDermott. Wow, insanity. What? Wait a minute. What did Matt West say? Glenn's vaunted defense. What is Glenn's vaunted defense if he can't stop a small alien invasion? I mean, yeah, man is good for nothing, apparently. You can't stop a running game, can't stop an alien invasion. Come on. What is up? What is up with that? Oh, boy. The best way to describe it is I read faster than my mind can process it, but I do more comic and manga. For example, I would finish reading, but my mind is... okay, I got you. Well, you know what? People do have that problem, even people who haven't been diagnosed with dyslexia. It's like they read... I don't know how many people I've talked to that are like, yeah, but I read and I just don't retain it. I guess that's a little different than actual retention, but it's similar. Yes, Lord Chair, Thad Castle would be a great pick. What could the teams possibly doing for this extended halftime? Lord Chair, does he have an answer for that? Who would Lord Chair want to draft at number 2? Lord Chair is a Caleb Downs guy, and I don't know if I want to go safety. So we have very strong opinions, but Caleb Downs, man, oh God, I love me some Caleb Downs. But going safety at 2, if he's the best player in the draft and you're in the situation the Jets are in, then maybe I could see it. But R.L. Reese sitting right there, David Bailey sitting right there. People are saying Ruben Bain. I'm not entirely sold on Ruben Bain, but those other guys, I don't know. I love Coach Sig, says Christian Arias, PFN number 2. What is up, man? Can't take a safety at 2. Yeah, I know. I'm like there. You know what I mean? I'm trying to kind of create a scenario where you can. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, you don't have anything, so what would it hurt? You know? And Aaron Glenn's not going to be there anyway after this year. Likely, he's going to be trying to prepare how to fight alien invasions, apparently. This championship game, big ships turn slow, is going the way I expected so far, says Night Shifter. Can you really shapeshift? Or only in the night? Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins apparently has come across shapeshifters. Or a shapeshifter. He has told us that much of the story, but no more. And I'm so intrigued by this because he seems like a logical person. And I'm not saying he's lying. I mean, I actually kind of believe it. I just want to know more. I'm open to there being, otherworldly beings or whatever you want to call them among us that we just don't know about. You think we can trade up into the end of the first? Yeah, especially with the 44th pick. If we package that, we absolutely can. If there's a player they want there, sure, I could see them doing that. But I was talking about Parcells before. Do you know? So this is where I'm talking about with Mike Tomlin and the trouble with giving your head coach that much power over an organization. Bill Parcells traded the number 1 overall pick in the draft that he wouldn't promise Peyton Manning he would take him number 1 overall. Traded that pick to the Rams for a first rounder, which was the 6th overall pick, a 3rd rounder, and a 7th rounder. And took James Farrier, who became a great player for the Steelers eventually. Not for us, but talk about getting hosed on a trade. And on top of that, we didn't get Peyton Manning. That's why I fear Mike Tomlin. That's why this man needs to just retain control. That's why I fear Mike Tomlin. Because Darren Muji would never let that happen. Darren Muji would have taken Peyton Manning. He would have taken him twice if he could. He would have said, absolutely, yeah, we're taking you, Mr. Manning. Yes, we're taking your son. Just tell him to get everything green that he owns to just bring with him because he's coming here. Parcells didn't do that. Love Bill Parcells. Excellent coach. Front office-wise, He drafted us Anthony Becht. I mean, come on. As a person, I think Anthony Becht is a lot of fun. But roster-wise, Parcells wasn't Darren Muji. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know. Jeff's Party comes in with a 20 spot and says, few guys in mind. Arvel Reese, if he drops, yeah. I don't know that he's going to drop that far, but that would be a good pick. Jets might take Ty Simpson. I don't think they will unless they get excellent value on him. I don't think they will. Just because of the three first next year. David Bailey, Mansour Delane with the first pick. Second pick in the first round. I will be happy with Sonny Styles or Mekhi Lemon. So Sonny Styles, so I think you guys are going to take Sonny Styles with your first pick or Mekhi Lemon. I don't know that you'll take Mekhi Lemon because, you know, the George Pickens thing, if you guys retain him, which I'm sure you will. And you need defensive help. I see Sonny Styles sitting there. There is a chance Caleb Downs could drop to you guys. That would be a home run. Sonny Styles would be a home run. I'm glad you said Sonny Styles because I think the Cowboys are going to take him. I would think that would be an excellent pick. If he's not there, I mean, if they pass on him, which I'm hoping you do, and he's there at 16 for the Jets, I want to snatch him up. Even if we went Ruben Bain number 2. I don't care. Give us both Ohio State linebackers and F off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I do not care. Jets Party is your new king of the stream, by the way. My liege. Let's get his name up there. Thank you very much, Jeff. Yeah, Sonny Styles would be an amazing pick, man. I think he can make you forget Micah Parsons really fast. You might have forgotten Micah Parsons already. That guy's what team does he play for again? What a bum, right? He probably plays for some garbage team somewhere up north. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to give Soldier a hard time because I haven't spoken to him much on the stream. Sonny Styles not getting past Carolina. Yeah, I could see that. Could absolutely see that. Hi. How are you doing? Yeah. Oh my God. Astro, come here. Yeah, it's so cold that the dogs have their little sweaters on, and they look adorable. T-shirts. Sorry, they look like baseball players. We're gonna change that on screen right now. Jeff's Party, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. And John Connor stops back in from the future and says, "Isn't that AJ Styles' son?" Yes, it is. It is. Matt West says PFA. John Connor, thank you so much for reporting that Lamar Jackson news. I think we're the first ones to break it, so I owe you a lot because the stream's gonna get a lot of views because of that. Metalhead for the Savior, says PFA. Micah is on the Packers, who are a good team, says Metalhead for the Savior. Is that where he went? Oh, I didn't know. Is the fifth rare option for the first round, or does that only include the second? You know what? I would be guessing. Ashley says PFA. Sean says PFA. I thought that only included the first round. Beck has been doing as well as a coach in the UFL. And I saw him on. He was on the Home Shopping Network or something too for a while, and he looked like he was doing pretty well for himself. He was selling some kind of NFL related towels or something. I don't know. He looked like he was having a good time. But as a tight end in the first round, didn't love it. Got to be honest, did not love it. We got Chad Pennington, though, and I was happy about that. I did like Chad Pennington. So, let's see. I maybe I could take a picture of them. But, no. You're not going to be able to see them. If they come over to me, I will put them up on screen. So, the Ravens traded Lamar Jackson. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, well, John Connor, as you know from Terminator fame, came in earlier and informed us that the Ravens traded Lamar Jackson to the Raiders for the first overall pick. And now they will have the rights to Fernando Mendoza. So that definitely happened. That totally happened. So just tell all your friends. Trade you Gary for a first. Sold. Send them over. Come on. Yeah, fifth year options only for the first round, says Celtic Scarecrow. So here we are. Halftime. Still, by the way. Halftime's been as long as the game has been on. And, you know, we're just hanging out and having a lot. That's why I like these streams. Because even if, I mean, I got to be honest, I'm not, if we were taking Mendoza, I would be locked into this game. It's hard for me to be locked in. It's hard. But I'm watching it. I'm going to keep the score updated. I'm going to get excited if there's a big play. Oh, yeah, the Ravens are totally drafting that Mendoza kid right now. Oh, son of a gun, SG. Son of a bitch. You sure you don't want to trade with us? Because we'll take that pick off your hands. Pennington had a huge arm until he got hurt. Yeah, he did. He did. He had a good arm until he got hurt. And then with the Jets, he just did not have a good... Well, he got hurt in college. Did not have a good arm. But he was accurate as all hell, man. He could read a defense. I liked Pennington. Really liked Pennington, but man. Yeah. Or could have been. But, you know, hearing some of this Parcells stuff, that's what kind of makes me like, all right, I don't want to give a guy like Mike Tomlin all the power, especially when we've seen what Darren Muji can do. And I know to people, you know, the people, it's going to sound insane. Oh, Mike Tomlin, because you hear the name and, you know, you look at the record and everything. But when you see what Darren Muji's been doing, I mean, he knows what he's doing. It looks like he knows how to evaluate talent. He knows talent when he sees it. He's going to get what he wants in a trade. Because he said, this is the reason why we got 2 firsts from the Colts for Sauce Gardner, which was insane. And backloaded the contract, by the way. So he foresaw that that the roster might not be good enough for the Jets to, the record might not be good enough for the Jets to say, oh, we're going to make a playoff run. He foresaw that before the season even started and said, okay, we're going to re-sign you. We're going to have you here. We're going to backload the contract and then maybe move off you if we get enough compensation. And he got the compensation he wanted and also had them throw in A.D. Mitchell. That alone, that is not a fluke trade. And Jet fans treat it like it's a fluke trade, or they treat it like it didn't even happen. They don't even know, like a lot of them don't even know what they're seeing. Do you know how much I put in that sentence with the contract and then offloading the contract and then getting 2 firsts and then getting A.D. Mitchell too for Sauce Gardner, who can't tackle, can't intercept? Can cover, sure, maybe, sometimes. Oof, man. And then what do you got for Quinnen Williams, who's going to be 30 years old soon? And also said in that trade, no, you know what? You don't have to give us the first this year. Just give us the 27 first. That's fine. Wink, wink. Also a second. Man. Jeff's Party comes in with a $5, says, who's Micah Parsons? Is that the cashier at the McDonald's drive-thru line who couldn't shake? Hold on. Couldn't shake double teams. Also, I hope we get Jim Leonard. I kind of want Jim Leonard. Jim Leonard, I think, he's a former Jet. I think that'll be a great choice as a defensive coordinator, actually. But the problem is, we get Jim Leonard, then you bring in a new coach. He's probably not going to be here anymore. So I don't think it's going to line up. But yeah, Jim Leonard. Jim Leonard went to the Cowboys, man. That would have my attention. Are we back at the game? Is half face over? I believe it is. Fernando Mendoza's on the field. He's ready to play. So we're going to the 3rd quarter. Hold on. Oh, I don't know what the hell happened here. I'm not doing the right stuff. 3rd quarter. There we go. All right. Let me get the game back in my ear. Awesome. Thank you, Jeff's Party. Oh, what's going on? Look here. Let me show everybody your getup here. Hold on. Come here. Come here. Here he comes. Oh, good job, buddy. There he is. Look at him. Oh, look at this. He's got that Hulk Hogan rip in his shirt. Look at the camera. Look. See, buddy? No, he's a little scared. There might be, I don't know why he's scared. What's going on, buddy? Look, Fernando Mendoza, the guy we're not going to get. The quarterback that I was telling you about that we're not going to get now, and it breaks my heart. Okay. Well, we're going to get Arch Manning, so don't you worry, pal. All right? Arch Manning, tell all your friends. Let's get Jeff's Party's name up on screen. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff is your lord of the stream. There can only be one Lord of the Stream. All right, Fernando Mendoza's in the shotgun. He looks sad that he's not going to be a Jet. I mean, could you imagine if all of a sudden you had a chance to be a New York Jet and now you're told you're going to have to go to the Raiders? That would break my heart. I would be like, what? What's the point of even playing football? Seriously. He should just refuse and say, I am not going there. And don't think you're going to ask the Jets for any draft capital because that's not going to happen. So do something else, Vegas. 3rd and 17 coming up for Indiana. I don't know if the Jets could take Aaron Rodgers breaking his ACL and then Sauce taking his ACL and still thinking there's hope. Yeah, Sauce had that calf injury with the Indianapolis Colts and whatnot, and that's, sort of Achilles related. So yeah, I don't love it. I mean, I don't love it for the Colts. I love it for us getting rid of him. Run up the middle, goes nowhere. It's all right, Lucas. What's up, buddy? He doesn't like having the shirt on, but it's so cold, and then he starts shivering. So can't imagine wanting to be coached by Charles London, who is still inexplicably on payroll. There would be some closed door conversations between Darren Muji and Fernando Mendoza. Like, you're not going to be even playing this year. Just sit tight, man. Sit tight. Jeff comes in with another $5. Says raising your kid a Jets, Raiders, or Browns fan should be considered child abuse. Oh man, I had a Jets jersey from my dog Eddie that passed away a while ago, and I sent my buddy a picture of him with the jersey on, and he told me that he was going to report me for animal abuse. And I said, that's not funny, dude. That is not funny. They should report me for animal kindness because the Jets are going to be awesome. And now's the time to get on the train, by the way. You want to get on the Jets train and not be called a bandwagon fan, now's the time. I mean, tickets are for sale. They're free, actually. But soon, I'm going to start calling people out. I'm saying, no, wait a minute, you weren't a Jets fan. Mendoza gets sacked by Bain. Wait a minute. That could be a sign of things to come. Ruben Bain. Oh, punishing Tom Brady's boy. Wait a second. That could be a sign. I believe in signs, and I think we just saw one. Ashley with a $5 says, he's so sweet. That face is so precious. Yeah, they're handsome. Both of them are very handsome. I appreciate it, Ashley. Ashley is your television champion, by the way. Strutting around with the belt on. I don't know. I like that play by Ruben Bain. Maybe I'm turning around on him. Maybe that happened because I'm supposed to like Ruben Bain over Fernando Mendoza. There's a possibility. That's a thing. I wouldn't hate a Ruben. I mean, I like those other guys that I mentioned. I wouldn't hate if they drafted Ruben Bain. We do need help rushing the passer. Because, we have Will McDonald, who we took over Jackson Smith and Jigba, which was such a brilliant move. Brilliant move, because Will McDonald has been lighting it up. He's been doing absolutely nothing for anybody. But, he can spin really fast. That's cool. That gets you things on defense. He can spin. It looks cool when he does it. He looks confused when he comes off the spin, though. I mean, he's not scaring anybody. He's had himself a couple of good games, but I mean, seriously, like Jackson Smith and Jigba, man. You know what I mean? Like he was sitting right there. He was like, here I am. Did we call it the Ash? No, we called it Ashes to Ashes. That was Ashley's finishing move. That's what won yesterday. Ashes. Hold on. To Ashes A devastating atomic drop. The most devastating atomic drop you will ever see. Wasn't Reuben Bain a villain that McBain fought? I don't know. Was he? I don't remember. We need pressures, yeah. You did say you wanted Bain at 2. You did. You did. You did, Matt West. I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the... I can't sing as high as that dude from the darkness. His voice is insane. His voice is epic. Ashes to ashes. And then, like, the arena turns dark and we get that Undertaker bell. Dong! 4 years, 16 mil is not occasional good game money. No. No. We are, thank God, out of half face. I thought it would never end. What did you get at the store, though? That's the better question. A2A. Dallas has their coach now. It'll just be interesting to see how they fix the hole where the rain gets in. Or that sunspot that gets in everybody's eyes. I like Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He was a Jets offensive coordinator a while back. He drove me crazy, but man, he looks like he's a pretty good head coach. Pretty good play caller. So I like it. Comic artist is my favorite for drawing Batman. It was Kelly Jones back in the day. Was Kelly Jones, but he would draw guys with like 20 packs, which bothers some people. Doesn't bother me, but probably Greg Capullo. I really like Greg Capullo. All right, here we go. Third quarter, 10-0 Indiana. These are not like the NFL playoff games, by the way. Not like the NFL playoff games at all. There's Isaiah Jones. And Carson Beck takes the snap, hands it off. Oh, and he's got room to run. This is going to be a tutty for Miami. Wow. Miami gets on the board. Mark Fletcher Jr., 57-yard run. Wow. Wow. Mark Fletcher, by the way, 6'2", 225. A guy that I am looking at in dynasty drafts, just so you know. Just keep this guy on your radar. Very nice. Obviously, it depends on where he goes. Hell of a run by Fletcher. We've got a 7-10 game. There we go. You love Joe Quesada's Batman. Touchdown, Miami. 10-7. Joe Quesada's Batman. Let me look that up really quick because I can't get a visual of it in my head. Joe. Yeah, that's really nice. That is cool. I like Jim Lee's Batman too. Quesada's Batman looks good. Yeah, Quesada's really good. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Yeah, Quesada's Batman's pretty cool. That is not bad. What is up, buddy? What is going on? He is scared. Lucas. Come on. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. No. Is Anakin flipping out? Yeah, Jim Lee's Batman is legendary. For some reason, when he said Batman artist, I forgot about Jim Lee before. Bagley and Spider-Man is better. So for me, for Spider-Man, it goes McFarlane, Larson, Bagley. In that order. I love them. I hated Sal Buscema. I'm not a big fan of him. His work on Spectacular Spider-Man in the 90s, not a big fan on that. Not a big fan of that. But yeah, McFarlane, Larson, and Bagley. And it looks like to me, Eric Larson is sort of a, it's going to sound like a diss, but it's not. But it sounds like he's kind of like a poor man's McFarlane, and then Bagley is a poor man's Larson, as far as I'm concerned. Capullo does an amazing Batman. Honestly, I like Capullo, but I also like Jim Lee's. Yeah, George Jimenez was really good too. Yes, totally agree with you, Metalhead. Bagley, Larson, and McFarlane. Are you serious? Are you trolling me right now? Is it like, I mean, Bagley's good. Bagley's good. I mean, I can't. But man, McFarlane, Humberto Ramos, Spider-Man. Let me look up his Spider-Man because that image does not come up to me. Right. Let's see. Oh yes, I've seen this. Yeah, I mean, I could see the appeal here. I could see the appeal here. It looks kind of Bagley inspired, to be honest, in a way. Bagley, McFarlane sort of inspired. It's not bad. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't put him up there with my dudes, but it's not bad at all. This actually, the Amazing Spider-Man #6, that variant cover, where Spidey's on the webs, that looks really cool. Let me see if I can pop that up here, so you guys can see it. Hold on. I don't. Oh, I do have titles for these teams, by the way. So this is a cool cover. I will show you right now. He's a little. I think it's because of the shirt. Yeah. Right there. That's a cool cover. That's a variant cover. Kind of like that. Kind of like that cover. Jeff comes in with a $5, says, the most Browns move ever, hire a retread in either Jeff Fisher or Mike McCarthy. I don't hate Mike McCarthy for them, I got to be honest. And you're a Cowboys fan, so I can understand why you would not like Mike McCarthy. But he did get you 3 consecutive 12-win seasons. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Indiana has the ball back, so Baal must move. What's up, Astro? What's up, buddy? That is a good cover, right? Yeah, that is a cool cover. See, if every time I try to get Astro to come on stream, the second I move, it's like he knows what I'm going to do, and then he walks away from me. And I can't grab him. So let me see if I can get him after I correct Jeff's offering, because he is your stream lord. There you go, Jeff's party. Thank you so much, man. And okay, 2nd and 5 for Indiana. We're going to have 3rd and about 2. They always play this Imperial March, which is funny. Sean Cantrell, we have a new Lord of the Stream. Sean Cantrell with a 50 spot says, my dogs hate wearing anything. This game is not at all what I was expecting. Sean Cantrell on the heels of Chicago's coming out party, man. You guys have nothing to be upset about it. You know what I loved? There was a video, and you probably saw this, of the team walking off the field, and the fans were applauding them. I was like, man, that really endeared me even more to Chicago Bears fans. And they started this year. I don't think there's ever been a more epic turnaround in my view of a fan base, because last year I believe they were the most annoying fan base in the entire Demonverse, and that quickly turned around. And I think it's because of the representation right here. Thank you very much, Sean. Your new Lord of the Stream, ladies and gentlemen, my liege. Well done, my lord, says Ashley. And Sean Cantrell is up to 37.90 right now. We're going to get that updated right now. So these dogs are pretty chill. Like they'll go with the flow. And, but like they're not crazy about these things that are on them. But they'll get used to them. They have to, because, you know, they're starting to get a little older, and when it gets cold here, like the houses hold on to the cold. Sometimes it's warmer outside, but the houses hold on to the cold because it gets so hot in the summer. And when it gets cold, you know, we want them to be warm. I'm such a master of speaking sometimes. Thank you very much, Sean. I think I got you updated everywhere we need to be. My lord. So, yes, there can only be one Lord of the Stream, as I've said. All right. So, 42% say Sean McDermott should not have been fired. Shocking to me. That is shocking to me. All Out Broncos says, Broncos or Patriots, who are you rooting for? Well, I'm a Jets fan, so go Broncos. I am going to write Jarrett Stidham's name on my forehead for that stream. It's going to be there. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. But F the Patriots. F all of them. Every single one of them. So let's go Broncos. And listen, I do not love the Broncos, by the way, because you beat us. You cost us the Super Bowl one time with John Elway. And I will never forget that. But go Broncos this time. Go Broncos this time. And I'm assuming you're a Broncos fan because you got a little Broncos avatar there and your name's All Out Broncos. So I do great detective work, just so you know, so I figured this out. The Master of Eloquence is my title. I appreciate that, soldier. Yes. Let's see if I missed anything anybody said. Sean Chin Music. Yes, SG. Well done, my lord, says Ashley. So wait a minute. I can do no right? I can't root for a team because then it's the kiss of death. And if I say I don't want a team to win, then I'm a jerk. Or an a-hole, more appropriately. So I can't do any. I just sit here and be quiet. I have no opinion of this game, is what I should say. I didn't say the Broncos would win. I said I want them to win. Pay attention, Loco. Said I want them to win. Didn't say they would win. You don't know who I think is going to win that game. You might know who I think is going to win that game. But, you know. Oh, look, Kathy, as she's leaving the stream, she's a Raiders fan. Mendoza doesn't look all that to me. Oh, no. Did she say that? Well, call your local team owner and see if you can get them to trade the pick to us, because we'll take it off your hands. Yeah, you're right. He looks terrible. Just we'll take him. We'll take him off your hands. Go ahead. Oh, that's funny. Stay hating Denver, please. Jeff's party has once again reclaimed the throne and says, bow down to me, LOL. If the Jets don't make the playoffs next year, you have to buy a Dak Prescott jersey and wear it throughout the playoffs. I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs for quite some time, so that doesn't make any sense to me at all, Jeff's party. I appreciate it, but That's simply not happening. I'm not maniacal. I'm not one of those Jets fans that's like, no, mandated playoffs. No, I am marching for Arch as of right now. As you can see right here. You see that name, Arch? Yeah. The March for Arch has commenced. And I will be marching proudly. Very proudly. Because I need that to happen. Otherwise, I'm going to be very sad. It's the only thing keeping me from not losing my mind over this Mendoza situation, honestly. But apparently, my cousin Kathy thinks Mendoza is not all that. So maybe Tom Brady is with her. Tom Brady's at the game. He might be like, this is the guy we're talking about? He's not me. No. We're not doing that. We're not drafting him. Get me Mark Davis on the phone. I'll talk to this guy. You never know. There we go, Jeff's party. My lord, thank you very much. Stay hating Denver. This is crazy. We'll trade for Mendoza tonight. I mean, listen, there's a reason why he's on screen. He's a busy man right now. Tom Phoney's braid. Tom Brady's phone is probably just like vibrating in his pocket right now. It says Muji on it, and that picture's coming up on the screen. I should make that my my background on my phone, actually. Oh, Royal Rumble, Saturday, January 31st at 2 p.m. What? Are they crazy? Get out of here. WWE's got it. They're losing their minds. I was thinking about streaming. I'm not streaming at 2 p.m. Like, come on. Loco, you're right. He decided to start not hating Matt LaFleur and our season imploded. See my power. Oh, Mendoza. This guy's a bum. Oh, look at him. What a terrible. I wish Mendoza would be a Jet. No, he's a bum, Red X. You see what's going on right now? Come on. Please. He's terrible. Pterodactyls are making the playoffs next season. You heard it here first. Dak Prescott won't be wearing a Dak Prescott jersey. It's in Saudi Arabia. I mean, tell me they can't stay up late? Come on. Red X Power's here, by the way. Red X Power's a former champion. He's held many titles, by the way. The very first champion of the Demonverse. He is written in the lore. It was called the Multiversal title way back when. It had many planets on it. Well, first, it actually just had like the old school Demonverse head on it. They sold out to the Saudis. All right. Well, this heel turn on Mendoza. What a bum. This is the guy we're talking about first overall. Oh, man. The talent level in this draft is not impressing me then. Oh. Stupid Fernando Mendoza is about to take the snap. Maybe he'll fumble it. Oh, he's walking up to the line. He's all types of confused. Look at him. Big giant idiot that he is. 33 and literally can't remember the Cowboys beating the Broncos. Oh, he's got pressure. Oh, that was a terrible pass. Incomplete. This guy cannot process the defense. I don't know what they see in him. Do not know what they see in him. Awful. Awful stuff. 4th and 12. Good luck, Raiders. Good luck. Thank God we dodged this bullet. I got to tell you. March for Arch. We're dodging bullets and marching for Arch. Oh, there is new life in me, my friends. The Pterodactyls. Jeff's party, have you seen the Pterodactyls logo? Were you here when we did that? Because, Indiana has to punt the ball away again. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like punt after punt after punt. My God, what is your quarterback doing, man? What is going on? I'm looking for the Pterodactyls logo. It should be here somewhere. I see Sprain. I see Navy Blue Santa. I see the old Darren Muji image. I see regular Blue Santa. But I do not see the Pterodactyls logo, and that is starting to scare me because that is like something that should be front and center everywhere. They might be gone forever, guys. I might have lost the Pterodactyls logo. No, wait a minute. I think I know where it is. No, it's not there either. Good Lord. Good Lord. I might have lost the Pterodactyls logo. No! Why? Please. I am desperately sad over this. Oh, no, there it is. I got it. Yes, it was right in front of my face. Banana. It looks like a Batman logo almost, right? That's awesome. That's got to go on a t-shirt. I got to check and see if I can actually get that up. That might have to be a limited Pterodactyls run. We'll see. We'll see at some point. But that is an incredible. I mean, could you imagine that on a helmet? We would all. I mean, I know for a fact Soldier would be like, man, maybe I won't be a Packers fan anymore. The San Antonio Pterodactyls of Toronto. That would be the way to go. Let's see. Thank you, Loco, for slashing whoever you slashed. Maybe request to see the magnificence of the Pterodactyls logo. Lowly Page. What are you talking about, Ashley? A lowly Page. Get out of here. You are the television champion. That is a high royal. I mean, you are the. I don't even know what to say at that. I mean, you're acting like you're on CJ Stroud's level, but you're like, not Josh Allen. I'm not going to say Josh Allen because he's stupid. I'm not even going to say you're Arch Manning level. Come on. I drove an AWD Charger today. I'm going to get into some trouble with it. Jeff's party, do not get into any trouble, please. Please. It would be tragic if you got into trouble. And then, we need you here on the stream to represent the Cowboys because they need all the fans they can get. Even though you don't like Mike McCarthy. And that bothers me. But it's okay. It's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. No, I mean, I get the Mike McCarthy thing, but I also don't get the Mike McCarthy thing because I think my problem with McCarthy is the penalties. That's what drives me crazy. But I think he's a pretty good coach. Soldier, Green Bay Packers fans, are you backing me up on this, or do you guys think Mike McCarthy's not a good coach? I'm not saying take him over LaFleur, but, what are your feelings on Mike McCarthy? Jeff's party, my lord, is up to 5501. Thank you very much. Be careful with that Charger, Jeff. Seriously, come on. Samuel Miller here says Super Bowl CXX2. I don't know how to read Roman numerals. The Pterodactyls versus the Dugons. That would be epic. Are you serious? We need that. I will absolutely love it. It's greatest Super Bowl ever. Man, thank you very much. Samuel Miller is your number 3 contender, by the way. We're going to get that updated on screen immediately. Hold on. Let's get that updated. Updated. Dangerous throw by Carson Beck. I mean, he's not good either. So, a battle of two awful quarterbacks. I mean, this is just terrible. I feel bad for college football fans. Samuel Miller's up to 615 as your number 3 contender. Thank you very much, Samuel Miller. All right. Tony's got the ball. He's short. I'll tell you, Tony is very interesting. Super Bowl 132, my lord. My liege. The TV title is a prestigious award. I held it 12 times. Wear it with pride, Ashley. That is correct, yes. She says, yes, I will. Oh, you're not a big fan of Mike. Wow, okay. I like him as a person, but not as a coach. He's a player's coach. Yeah, he is. And he's a yes man. I get it. I totally get it. Chat Rich is doing something called coping. Never heard of it. Astro, where you going, buddy? Come here. Come here. I want to show everybody you and your new shirt. Come on. No? He looked at me and he walked away. Are you kidding me? The disrespect. Is this a safety? Oh, my God. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. That's the only way Indiana can score touchdowns because their quarterback can't get them in the end zone. So that's the only way. I mean, good God. Thank God the Jets are dodging this ticking time bomb. Someone please show Glenn these college defenses. He's busy trying to fight aliens right now, apparently. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Touchdown, Indiana. A Mendoza-less touchdown. 70 bad clips, says SG. Oh, Mark Cuban's there, smiling. Kick is up, and it's doinked in. Okay. I like the way the officials look at each other when the field goal goes through. They're like, you saw that go through too, right? Yeah, okay. Still want the Greenland Sharks, oldest animal on the planet. 2 weeks ago, PFD was arguing that Indiana only has a good defense and special teams because Mendoza allows it. I don't recall ever saying that. Wait a minute. How long was that on screen? How long was I not on screen? I'm sitting here like, oh boy, I'm a mess. Hiding behind the title contenders. I don't know how long that happened. So what I said before was they were like, oh yeah, it's a field goal. Looking at each other. I don't recall ever arguing that Indiana. I remember being extremely critical of Fernando Mendoza. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you were watching, Loco. I remember saying, I don't know about this guy. Kind of glad the Jets don't have the first pick overall, actually. They might have dodged a swift one there. Aaron Glenn sideline strut in the middle of the season. Winless is almost as embarrassing as I can't say that. And you know what? I am not going to say sideline strut. That's the last time I'm ever going to say it. Because that was embarrassing. There's the Mendoza family. They're talking about his draft stock plummeting, probably. Jake Asman has an entire reel of his gaps. Oh, boy. All right. Well, we got a nice view of the offering contenders for a while. That's nice. That's nice. Carson Beck gets the ball off. And Fletcher's got good hands. He's a former wide receiver. At that size as a running back, he's going to be a problem in the NFL. The test determined that was a lie, Maury Povich. Wow, Maury Povich reference. Only father this miss. When was the last time we had a good Maury Povich reference anywhere? That's excellent. Fletcher, man, this is a guy I wouldn't mind drafting for, you know what I mean? Like, I would take him in the later rounds, even though we're stacked at running back. I firmly recall you saying you would trade out of number 1 if Mendoza was there. Yes. Thank you, Soldier. Thank you so much. I mean, Loco. I mean, you know, he said he was drunk the other day. I mean, he could be drunk now. We don't know. But yes, but Mendoza's. I don't even like saying the name. Got to be honest. Oh man, what a hit! What a hit! I feel like I got to sneeze. Celtic Scarecrow says, I'm using AI to make mythical NFL mascots, and the Bears one I made goes hard. I wish I could share it on here. Could you share it in the Discord so we could check it out? Loco says, no, I work tomorrow. All right, that's fair. It is funny with the two refs on the field looking at each other. You saw what I saw, right? It's like, yeah, confirming UFO sighting. Yeah, it's like they both looked at each other like that's correct, right? That's correct. Okay. This thing is being redonkulous right now. All right, hold on. Hold on. Back rolls out. Throws downfield. That's complete. CJ Daniels with the catch. And picks up 24 yards. I see you there, Jeff's party. My chat crashed for a moment, so I'm just trying to reset it. Then I will get that super up on screen. There we go. Bring out the olive, says Jeff's party. The Lord of the Stream. He goes, Maury classic. Yeah, Maury Povich references are always welcome. I've been saying for a long time we don't get enough of them. Don't get Mendoza was the joke for months. Yeah, right? I mean, what is going on with Loco? This guy, man. Jeez. Here just like lying in front of everybody on stream. That's crazy. I don't know what the hell he watches. Thank you, Jeff's party. We're going to update your name on the stream right away. 5701. This is what the man is up to as the Lord of the Stream. And as I said, there could only be one Lord of the Stream. Oh, Malachi Tony takes us down to the 11. 12-yard line. And I feel like the defense is falling apart for Indiana because Mendoza's not a good leader. I mean, when you're a good leader, you don't let this happen to your defense. You're there screaming, they hear you, and they're like, we gotta do this for. I mean, you see Caleb Williams. He's pumping up his defense constantly. I don't see any Caleb Williams in Mendoza. I gotta be honest. You put it in Phantom Zone General. All right, let me go look at that. Oh, there it is. Thank you, SG. Oh, that's dope. Hold on. Bum bum. Hold on. Very cool. There it is. Look at that. I like that Gatling gun that he has that Jesse the Body Ventura had in Predator. Fletcher takes this down to about the 3. That is really cool. Got the Chicago skyline behind them. That's excellent. Very nice. Loco says upgrading my internet was the best thing ever. I used to take days to download 100 gig. That's probably why you thought I was a Mendoza fan. All right, I get it now because like your internet wasn't great. You probably heard words get cut out, and you just got confused. I see what happened now. That tells us the entire story now. Jeff's party says, "Oh God, I can't bear it." Now it all makes sense, Loco. Yeah, good thing you upgraded the because you'd be going around telling everybody I was big on Fernando Mendoza, and they would be like, "You're foolish. What are you talking about?" We're in the 4th quarter. All right, well, this game's actually going by pretty fast. I think it's because of the good conversations we're having. But yeah, Super Bowl. So the Avengers Doomsday commercial might come up very early in the game. So I have to make sure I keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to be very in tune with the commercials. I'm going to try to be. Sometimes I start talking and I'm all over the place, and then I forget stuff's happening on TV. Sean Cantrell says, I've seen The Miz on some ESPN College Game Day show, and he was wearing an orange tie. Oh, he's a Browns fan, is he? All right. Let me look at the Bears' legs. I didn't see the Bears' legs. Hold on. Let's get a close look at his legs. I don't think there's anything wrong with his legs. I actually like his knee pads. That looks awesome. That's a cool detail. That's pretty dope. I'm a fan of that. Loco says, hear me out. Stidham plays amazing, leads the Denver to their 4th Super Bowl win. Jets can trade all those picks to acquire him. Do you see this man? You think he's going to do that? Come on. Come on. I mean, insanity. Indiana is winning right now, but we're going into the 4th quarter, and Miami has is it a 1st and goal from the 2? First and goal from the 2, I believe. I'm having a hard time with 1 for the Jets. Well, yeah, that checks out, actually. Ain't no party like a Stiddy party, because a Stiddy party goes hard. Hey, Muji comes from Denver. He may feel he owes us a solid. He owes you nothing. He owes you absolutely nothing because you did not put him in a position of power the way we did. So you think he's going to reward you in some way? Look at Denver fans who are a game away from the Super Bowl, and they are so scared of the New York Jets. Can you believe it? Can you believe this? Oh, man. You guys sense it coming. Carson Beck gives the ball to Fletcher, and that's a touchdown. Fletcher, man, that's the guy I want. That's the guy I've been talking about for ages. Give me all of the Mark Fletcher, please. This guy's going to be what Derrick Henry wishes he was. 13-7. Derrick Henry with hands. Malachi Tony on the orbit motion. And, we're going to have a 14-17 game here. Interesting. This game could go to OT, by the way. There's the extra point. Oh, the ref's going to look at each other. Yeah, there they go. Jeff comes in with a 5er, says the Cleveland Browns should make every seat in their stadium a toilet. The only way they'll ever seat a bowl of any kind. Wow, going hard. He's reaching across the conference to take shots at the Cleveland Browns. Only Jeff. Wow, insane. Browns fans are like, dude, what did we do to you? Thank you for the 5er, Jeff. Yeah, okay. Make sure that's right. And my Lord, the Lord of the stream. There can only be one Lord of the stream. I love saying that. Up to 6201. Fletcher looking good. Maybe we can grab him in one of those later rounds. He's probably going to go like 2nd round, though. 3rd round. I don't know. I have to look at more deeper mock drafts. I've only really looked at the 1st round. Jeff is up to 6201. Braylon Allen with hands. Yeah, that Braylon Allen's a big dude, too. Mike Causey comes in and says, so who is your favorite? If this guy could have stayed healthy, he would have been a Hall of Fame. Mine is Ty. Oh, well, who's your favorite? Okay. Favorite guy who could not stay healthy, but if he could have stayed healthy, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. Todd Gurley. That's a good one, Mike Causey. That's a thinker. I have to think. Oh, Andrew Luck is easy. That's an easy one. But I mean, he took himself out, so maybe that's not fair to say for this question. Thank you very much, Mike Causey. I got to think about this. Guys, if you have have an answer to that, let Mike Causey know. Mike Causey, I believe, is your number 4 contender. Is that where we are? Yes, she's your number 4 contender. That is a good question, though. If he could have stayed healthy, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Oh no, that's. I was gonna say Robert Smith from Minnesota, but he retired early. He didn't get hurt. He just didn't want to. He didn't want to continue his career to prevent himself from getting hurt. Mike Causey's your number 4 contender. That's a hard one. I got to think about it. This is one where, like, 3 streams from now, I'm going to come back with an answer and be like, remember that question you asked? Jets fan should be blue. Mekhi Becton. Ashley comes in with a tenor and says, 4th quarter, where are kittens born? I kind of want one, or an adult cat. When are kittens born? I kind of want one or an adult cat. Kittens are born all the time. They're always being born. Ashley just broke the $2,000 mark, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Your television champion. Let's make her belt bigger on screen. I just noticed that. I don't think it's big enough on screen. Hold on. That represents it well. I'm sorry about that. No, it should even be bigger. How's that? There we go. There we go. Let's get that updated. Thank you very much, Ashley. Part of the $2,000 club. And we're going to get your accolades on screen in a moment. Just make sure my math is right, because we know, you know how that goes sometimes, right? All right, here we go. Hold on. It's going to be changed in 5, 4. Mendoza's trying to run. My God, this guy is so slow. I think I've ever seen a quarterback run as slow as him. I mean, this is just, it's embarrassing. There we go. $2,000 club. Thank you very much, Ashley. That is Ashes to Ashes, the atomic drop, the most devastating atomic drop in the history of the Demonverse. And it comes with a bell toll. Very, very similar to the Undertaker's bell toll. I appreciate it. It's like, bong. Give me a bong in the chat. Somebody give me a... Here we go. I'll do it. Oh, hold on. I spelled bong wrong. There we go. Minnesota. Minnesota's not playing. Indiana has the ball? Yeah, Indiana has the ball. Ash Mageddon, says SG. Complaining about a slow QB but wants the Jets to get a Manning. Arch Manning has wheels, dude. I don't know what you're watching, Loco. I mean, seriously. I don't know what is happening. Outstanding Ashes. Bong. There we go. Soldier. Cat distribution system does what it does. Father Dismas has all the answers. Oh, this is one of the worst passes I've ever seen. The receiver's not, he's looking around like, what the hell? And look at the terrible body language on Mendoza. Wow. It's called a mission bell, the Bond sound effect. All right, so we will call it a mission bell. Let me write that down so I don't forget. We'll call it the mission bell. When I call for the mission bell, let's hit bong in the chat. Thank you, Money Mike. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. Should I get the guitar out? You guys want to hear it? I was playing that earlier today. That's right, Celtic Scarecrow. You tell Loco. Archie is the son, or Arch, rather, that's what he prefers, of the athletic Manning brother. So you know what that means. I bet it could beat you in a race. Yeah. And you could be wearing rollerblades, too. Someone get me a bomb. Did I say that exactly? So I think I said someone give me a bomb. You learned that from Hotel California. Oh, very nice. It's crazy where we get our little tidbits of information from, right? They're going for this? Poof. With this quarterback? Are you kidding me? Foolish. Why don't you just hand the game away? I mean, good God. Jeff comes in with a 768er. Says, I have officially reached nice status. Look at that. Jeff making me do a little bit of math here. Let me see. Oh, I got you. Wait a minute. I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that. I don't have to do math, actually. All right, Jeff's party. You're lord of the stream. Astro, you okay, buddy? What's up, dude? Come here. Come here. All right. Okay. Oh, no? Come here, buddy. Oh, what's up, boy? Oh, okay. What a good job. What a good job. And that's been updated, my lord. Thank you very much. I got to update your actual total. That's where I got to do math. That is where I must do math. And math and me, we still have an issue with one another. We don't like each other. Okay. Oh, I hit minus. I don't even know what I'm hitting. All right, there we go. So it's out of range. Out of range for their field goal kicker. All right, let's see what happens here. Mendoza gets the ball off. What a catch. Wow, that was a nice catch by Becker. That ball was way off. That ball was way off target, by the way. Math is hard. I can't with math. Math and I, we fight a lot. And math wins. Maybe we should draft Becker. Maybe he's the reason why Mendoza's got all this hype. That was a hell of a catch. Good God. As a matter of fact, I remember Loco being in here glazing Mendoza and me telling him, Loco, man, just calm down. The guy doesn't look that great. I don't know what you're doing. He's already trying to put a damper on my Arch spirit, and it's not going to work. It is not going to work. We're marching for Arch. My legs are already tired because we've been marching for a long time. But we're not going to stop. Yeah, that catch by Becker, man. Oof. Mendoza hands the ball off. 2-yard gain. Mendoza was carried all year. Yeah, so I'm glad we're finally on the same page about this because you've been insufferable with this Mendoza stuff. Does Astro snore? I asked because one of my puppers is in the room with me and snoring like a buzzsaw. No, but I've had dogs that did snore. I had a Boston Terrier as a kid that snored so loud. Astro and Lucas both do the same thing. They have dreams and they bark in their sleep. Sometimes. They're just like, they do that stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I don't want the Jets to ruin the good name of Manning. Oh, overthrown in the end zone. Terrible pass. So this is what I love about Loco. He had Peyton Manning for a second, and he claims him now. Stop that. You do the Denver Broncos cannot claim Peyton Manning. Okay, stop it. Just put it away. We have more rights to the Manning name than you do. So just enough with this. Time marches on. Correct. Time arches on is what he said. That's what I should have said. I should have read it correctly. You can bestow the title of Archduke of Manning. I like that. Arch will be an elite Jet. You think Glenn is winning games next year? No. Yeah, he's not winning games. He's not winning games. All of a sudden, you know what's crazy, Matt West? This happens. People are seeing the writing on the wall, and they're seeing this smile, and it's terrifying them because people make fun of the Jets all the time, right? But now Arch is in the picture. And all of a sudden, people are like, well, no, the Jets could win some game. And it was like, oh, now all of a sudden we're going to win games. How is that going to happen? We're the laughing stock. The butt of the joke. And now all of a sudden people are like, no, I mean, the Jets, they could win like 7 games. Okay. Okay. Please. 4th and 5. Put the Jets 26-27 schedule up. Let me see if I can find but we don't have the full schedule up, right? We have, well, yeah, let me see. Hold on a moment. All right, 4th and 5. They are going for it, Indiana. Back to pass. Mendoza's going to run. Oh, he gets the first down. He's still up. Wow, that was a nice run. Wow. Fernando Mendoza runs into the end zone. What a play. That was a good play. All right, he's made one good play all year. Let's crown him. You want to crown him? Then crown him. Hell of a play. All right, 23-14. Wow. (23-14). They're going to take a 10-point lead. 24-14. Very nice play. SG says Fernando, touchdown Indiana. Charlie Walker's coming in and saying things that are, you might as well just come in and say the color green looks like money. We know this. We know this, Charlie Walker. This man knows this. That's all that matters. This man that you're terrified of. Look, I know you're not looking directly at him because I know you have fear in your heart, but trust me, he knows. Let me get the schedule up on screen. Here we go. All right, so here's the Jets schedule. We got the Buffalo Bills, loss twice. Chicago Bears, loss. Detroit Lions, loss. Kansas City Chiefs, loss. Los Angeles Chargers, loss. Hence the word loss. Miami Dolphins, we might win one of those games. Possibly. Patriots, we're going to lose those games. Bills, we're going to lose those games. And then we have the Denver Broncos. We're losing that. Raiders, okay, maybe it could go either way. I'm going to give the nudge to the Raiders. Packers, we're losing that game. Vikings, we're losing that game. Cardinals, depending on who the coach is, we might win that game. Browns and Titans, maybe we win those games. So, 4 wins as like the upper echelon. What do you think? Oh, I didn't bring it over. I'm an effing fool. Hold on. I hate myself. There we go. Okay, take a look at that. Take a look at that. As Jeff's party comes in with a tour and says, you and you Tree need to do a stream together. I don't know if he's aware of my existence. But I would love to do that. That would be awesome. I would absolutely love to do that. Tell him. Go tell him. That would be a lot of fun. I would do I would what do you call it? Collab. Yeah, I would collab with virtually anybody. I mean, not anybody, but any one of those guys from what is that? Is it called 5 Point Sports or something? I would collab with any of those guys. Especially if the Steelers hire Robert Saleh as their head coach. I would love to do a collab then. That would be awesome. I would love that. I'm going to show you the rest of the schedule, Matt. Thank you very much, Jeff's party. Matt, I'm going to show you the rest of the schedule. Hold on. Matt. Wait, hold on. All right, yeah. So Buffalo Bills, yeah. Chicago Bears, loss. So 0-4. Let's say this is the. I mean, we don't know if this is the order that the schedule is going to go, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 0-5. Maybe let's say 1-5 with the Dolphins. 0-6, 0-7, 0-8. We'll split with the Dolphins. 0-9, 0-10. Oh, 1-10. Sorry, with the Denver Broncos there. Then we've got the Raiders. And now this is where it gets a little iffy because you got the Raiders. Maybe that could go either way. I'll give it to the Raiders, though. Say 1-11. Packers, 1-12. Vikings. If they don't have a quarterback, maybe, but I doubt it. They have such a good roster. That's 1-13. Cardinals, maybe we could win that game. Let's say out of those 2 games, out of the last 3 games, let's say we win those 3, right? I mean, realistically, 4 wins is the ceiling with that schedule. Realistically. I mean, I don't think that's weird. So that's the way I see it. I mean, I believe Scooter doesn't live too far from me, actually. But again, I don't know how I know Perna knows who I am, and I know Grassi knows who I am. I don't know if the other guys know who I am. I see 0-17 with that schedule next year. I mean, it could happen. Would I be shocked? 0-17 is kind of hard. But 1-16, 2-15 is absolutely on the table. Absolutely. If those are actually the last 3 games, the team will have quit on Glenn long before then. Yeah, and we don't know. We'll see the schedule release, and we'll have a lot of fun with that when that comes out. So, I mean, who's the quarterback? I love the people that are like, trade for Mac Jones. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Trade for Mac Jones. What good would that do right now? Oh yeah, we'll give up a 2nd-round pick for Mac Jones. Mike Maccagnan, first of all, Mike Maccagnan's not running the team anymore. So forget that. And that's what people don't realize. Like, that was Mike Maccagnan. He would have done that. Rowdy says Jets going 16-1 next year. Get out of here. We don't have a quarterback or a quarterback coach. And look, are you bringing Marcus Mariota? You don't need a quarterback coach. But is Marcus Mariota, does he actually inspire confidence? Are we looking at him as a guy who is going to win games? I mean, the options are not great. That ball's... Oh, they're saying that's not caught. Okay, I thought he caught that. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl right now, says Jeff's Party. Think of all the epic poetry on stream, yes. What if the Bills and the Dolphins trade their quarterbacks away? Well, the Dolphins don't have a quarterback either. I don't know if Hafley's going to roll out there with Tua. You know, maybe the Dolphins get Malik Willis at this point. I would actually be down with that. Hi. I would actually be down with that because I want the Dolphins to actually be much better than us last year. Glenn is the quarterback whisperer 2.0. Ashley comes in with a 20 spot, says fourth quarter, I'm already asleep. Good night, dearest Demonverse. Your hardcore... Oh, I'm sorry. That was when Rowdy was the champion. Your television champion, Ashley, comes in and drops an ashes to ashes. The lights go out. And the... What do we call it? The mission bell chimes as she leaves the arena. Thank you so much, Ashley. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Good night, Ashley. Hooday. Still can't believe Jarrett Stidham has hair. Really appreciate it. Let me get Ashley's numbers updated. All of her accolades. Malachi Tony. I like him. He's a guy in a couple years we'll have our eyes on. Yeah. Okay, got that right. Malachi Tony. We don't have great history drafting receivers with the name Malachi, but this could change everything. This won't be this draft, though. Samuel Miller hits the chime. Thank you very much. Bong. I wish I made that sound so much cooler because... Oh, wait a minute. I did something wrong here. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. I gotta fix that. I'm gonna get your name back up there, Jeff. Hold on a second. I just hit the wrong thing. I've been known to do this from time to time. And it is frustrating, but you know how it goes. All right. No turnovers tonight for either team. That is excellent. So does that mean a Mendoza turnover is going to be coming up shortly? Who knows? Tony breaks free. Look at him. He's going to get in the end zone. What a play. Malachi Corley, Kadarius Tony. Thank you, SG, for taking out that sword. Philip Quinn is here. Your Demonverse champion pops in as Miami makes this a game. I'm going to get your title up. Let me finish updating this score. It's going to be 21-20. I've never been more positive of anything in my life, so I'm just going to update the score to that. And we're going to get Philip Quinn's belt on screen. Five touchdowns after halftime, they said. That's pretty remarkable. Oh, we got the Who playing right now. There we go. And we're going to get Darren Muji off screen because I don't want him to ever be covered up. So there we go. The mighty Quinn. How are you, my friend? You play to tie the game, yes. SG hates the French. SG says a French guy and he's like, shh. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. Yes. Just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to say good night. I have been busy. Wish I could have spent more time here. Philip Quinn, you're good. As long as you are here, even saying hello, your titles. Let me know you guys are here if you're champions, and I will put your title on screen, even if you just pop in for a second. It stays on stream the entire time, unless you lose the title. SG yeeted the French from the chat. Super Bowl winner Kadarius Toney. I remember when the Chiefs got him. All of a sudden, the savvy dynasty players out there were making trades for Kadarius Toney. Everybody was like, "I'll give you a second rounder for him." I was like, "Take him, take him." French dressing not included. French dressing is pretty good. You don't like baguettes? Oh, come on, SG. French guy walks through the door and the blade's already in the air, coming towards his neck. Oh, you guys are maniacs. What about crepes? Crepes are good. Don't even mess with crepes. At Epcot, they also have the French ice cream sort of place that has sorbet that is delicious. Delicious. I've never really had, other than like, you know, the typical stuff like crepes and whatnot, I've never had actual like real, like a French meal, I don't think. Like a dinner type meal. Grape Suzette. Is that a dessert? Isn't it crepes? Oh, great. Yeah, it's crepe Suzette. Oh, boy. All right, we got ourselves a football game. I love it. Love when there's a good football game on. I really wish the, what do you call it? The USXFL, whatever they're called. I wish their games were pretty good, but you know what? They're not. Eddie Lacy needs to be the Jets running back coach and fitness manager, says Jeff. My lord. Maybe our running backs, we have our running backs coach is our quarterbacks coach, so that means Eddie Lacy would be our quarterbacks coach then, right, Matt West? Isn't that the way it works on Aaron Glenn's Jets roster? You never know what's going to happen. You could be a running backs coach, but we're going to promote you to quarterbacks coach. It could happen at any moment. You never know. You might be an offensive coordinator soon. So, my lord is up to 71.69 on the stream. I appreciate it, Jeff. On the stream so far, we have had Maury Povich reference and then Eddie Lacy reference. Now, granted, the Eddie Lacy reference is not as far off as the Maury Povich reference, but still. I mean, if you would have told me that before I came on, I would have said, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Maury Povich and Eddie Lacy, no. No way. But here we are. Has anyone ever mentioned Maury Povich and Eddie Lacy in the same sentence before until tonight? A lot of firsts when you visit the stream. That you never know what you're going to miss. I love some French fries, even though they are not French. Are they not French? Our current quarterback coach is a running back from Duke that never played the position. Well, tell him Eddie Lacy is gunning for his job. So he needs to watch out. All right, Fernando Mendoza, 2nd and 7. I feel like there's going to be a turnover right here. He's going to lose this game, and then it's going to be like, oh, man, he threw a bad pick at the end of that game that cost him the game, and is he worth the first overall pick? And the Raiders are going to say, probably not. We don't want that to happen in our games. And we're going to say, no, we'll pass on him too because we're marching for Arch. So what's up? We got that Imperial March playing again. Mike Causey comes in with a 5 and says, no, you can't say you love crepes. Don't you say it, Richie. These colors don't run. He called me Richie. Oh, man. My older cousins call me Richie, and my uncles and my mom called me Richie. When PFA wants to mess with me. She calls me Little Richie. Because that's what my mom would say sometimes. All right, Mike Causey. Crepes are good. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie, Mike Causey. I love you, man. You're the number 4 contender right now. But crepes, they're delicious. When it comes to food, I have to be honest. I'm not gonna lie about not liking food. I'm not. I can't. It's not right to food for me to do that. It's rude to food. There are your top 5 contenders. Mike Causey is at number 4. Broncos fan. All kinds of riled up for the Jarrett Stidham experience that we are about to witness. And, I'm going to be rooting hard for him, but I did not officially make a prediction. That will be coming up. Indiana's almost as old as the Packers roster. That's actually probably legit. French pastries give me the creeps. Oh, that's a Ricky Bobby reference? I never saw that movie. All right. I never saw that movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were calling me Richie. I mean, I don't know why I would, but since it's my name. 3:42 left. Yeah, I never saw that movie. Macaroons are good too, says Matt West. I like myself a good macaroon too. All right, 3rd and 7. Mendoza at his own 48, changing the play. Let's see what he does. Takes the snap. Gets the ball off. Becker again with a big-time catch. He might be the reason Fernando Mendoza's gotten all this hype, because this dude just adjusts his body. Is he coming out in the draft? What's his name? Becker, Indiana? I got to look at this guy. Charlie Becker. 6'4", 204. He is a sophomore, so he'll be coming out next year. All right, Charlie Becker. All right. Looks kind of like he could be one of the killers in the Scream franchise. But he's a hell of a receiver. Hell of a receiver. He's really bailing Fernando Mendoza out. He's being held like crazy on that throw, too. Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. That's legit. Indiana's average age is 23. Packers' average age is 25. That's crazy. That's crazy. Good sign for the Packers, though. And we are at the 2-minute warning. Oh, Baal's in the wrong spot again. Good grief. Good grief. Jeff comes in with a 5 and says, the only other thing besides the 90s Cowboys to come out of Dallas is JFK in 1964. Wow. Wow. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs came out of Dallas, so there's that. Jeff's all kinds of controversial with his super chats. Thank you, Jeff. The Lord of the Stream. Let's get that updated. There we go. Bam! 8169. Jeff is the Lord of the Stream. Appreciate you, man. And Jeff has... Where are you? Where are you? I know you have you here somewhere. There we go. Very nice. Thank you very much, Jeff. I accidentally ran across the grassy knoll once without realizing what I did. Wow. Sounds like something I would do. I still think the Jets should have fired Glenn. Pat's fired Mayo after 1 year because he couldn't coach either. But the difference, Charlie Walker, is the Pats have a quarterback. The Jets do not. And the Jets, what would be the most tragic thing would be for the Jets to land a coach right now and have a good coach and not be able to land a quarterback. And then that coach can't win games. And then you have half the fan base wanting his head because they think he's a bad coach. Like, no. I kind of like the way it's working out with the spot we're in. Because knowing Aaron Glenn is the head coach, looking at that schedule, I'm like, oh yeah, he could be fired by week 10. He could be out. He could be. That's why I hope the schedule is so front loaded with hard teams. I was like week 1 Buffalo, week 2 Kansas City, Green Bay week 3, like Chicago week 4. Just give us a front loaded schedule so we're like 0-8, and then man. Matt West, no, because firing Glenn could cost us Arch Manning. So just wait for this to play out, man. Like, chess, not checkers. All right? Chess, not checkers. That's what we're playing right now. That's what Darren Muji's playing. If we fired Glenn and brought in, like, Harbaugh, and not that he was coming in. Let's say Mike Tomlin was available right now. Like, we're going to fire Glenn. We're going to throw a bunch of money at Mike Tomlin. He's going to be our coach. And we go 8-8 next year with no quarterback. You want that? When are we ever going to get a quarterback? No. We're going to have to hope Indianapolis gets like the 3rd pick overall or something, or Dallas or Green Bay. Like, those are the 3 teams we have to hate watch. Based on where we are, I'm fine with this and seeing what happens next year. Then, if we have the first overall pick, suddenly we're attractive to a head coach. Because we're not attractive right now, so we fire Glenn. Who are we getting? Harbaugh wasn't coming here. Stefanski wasn't coming here. You know? We weren't getting likely getting a good head coach. But next year, if there is a hot head coaching candidate, let's say Mike LaFleur is a hot head coaching candidate next year, and the Jets have the first overall pick plus 2 more firsts. Ooh, does that look enticing? Oh, I can go there and get my own quarterback. I just pick my quarterback. Oh, it's Manning? What? Oh my God, yeah. I have 2 more first-round picks. Sign me up. Where's the contract? That's what's going to happen. You got Vrabel, but you already had the quarterback. So you see, it was like you did what we're looking to do, kind of, in a way. But you had Mayo, he drafted Drake May, and then you went out and got Vrabel, who has the quarterback now. So it's working out the way it's supposed to work out. I know it looks bad on the surface, and you want Glenn fired, but it's going to happen. Going to happen. Just patience, man. Patience. It's all going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Why would the new coach not want Arch Manning? It's not Parcells. If it's Tomlin, maybe. No, it's not going to happen, Matt West. Now you're getting like 2 steps ahead in like a weird direction. And I'm like, you're in the grassy knoll. You're running across the grassy knoll like Momentum Technologies did. And I have to call you back and be like, dude, you're not supposed to run on that. Movement on the left side of the line. This Indiana head coach looks like he is not fun to be around. I feel like, if you ever went to his house for dinner, he would be a poor conversationalist. Probably make you feel uncomfortable. Signetti, yeah, right? That's his name? Yeah. Hi, Mr. Signetti. How you doing? Kurt Signetti, is that his name? 3rd down, 1:51 left. SG says bad clip. Oh, here we go. You could always have Joe Milton or Mitch Trubisky. Fine, give me them. Give me. I will take either of them right now. Give me your worst. Give me your worst quarterback ever, and we will roll him out on our way to March. We'll put him right at the front of the line as we march for Arch. Indiana coach said he wanted a game after the beer after the game. Dude, I saw that. I saw that interview. In game, he looks terrifying. All right, here we go. 16 of 27 for 186 yards was Mendoza. A baguette clip. All right, 3rd and 5. Here's Indiana. Another big third down. Both teams have one timeout left. This could pretty much seal it for Indiana. They hand the ball off. And stymied. No gain. 4th down coming up for Indiana. We already have the worst quarterback room. Just roll Fields back out there. Yeah, but Fields is going to want to win games, though. He's going to want to save his career. I don't know if I want that. I think I just want a veteran who's like collecting a paycheck and just like, whatever. You know, does Marcus Mariota think he's actually going to revive his career at some point? You know? How about Geno Smith? Well, let's get Geno Smith. Let's just do... No, the Raiders are probably going to hold on to him. But and the Jets draft a long snapper with the number 2 pick. No, they're not going to do that. Yeah, they're not going to stick with Cook. That would be a bit obvious, I think. Flacco, perfect. Yeah, that's what I said. Flacco. You know, I said Flacco earlier, but then I thought like Flacco might want to win games at some point just because he's a competitive guy and he's actually pretty good behind a good offensive line. So Flacco might be a little too good for what we're looking to do. And Indiana takes a 6-point lead. By the way, let's take a look at the prediction that I had. 27-21. What prediction did I have? 30-21. Wow. Right? I mean, come on. Look at that. Flacco quit on the team the first time. He did. They didn't have an offensive line the first time, though. But, you know, the Bengals didn't have an offensive line either. No, they're not the worst run organization. You're crazy, Charlie Walker. Get out of here. Worst run organization. You're just saying crazy stuff now. I don't remember several weeks ago when Justin Fields was great. Did I ever say the great Justin Fields? You think Engstrom can scheme protection for Flacco? He's going to be a sitting duck. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be upset with Flacco. I wouldn't be upset with Flacco, I guess. I would want somebody worse. Flacco looked good with the Bengals, but again, he was throwing to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, so that's easy. I don't want I hear Kyler Murray's name. I like how Kyler Murray doesn't want to play baseball anymore. I hear Kyler Murray's name thrown around. He's a guy I don't want either. Don't need Kyler Murray trying to revive his career with the Jets. Jimmy G is bad and doesn't care about winning. He's perfect. Yeah, I would take Jimmy G. Or would the Rams, if they draft a quarterback, that Jimmy G might be there. You still want Shador? Like, you think he could be a starter, though? Is that what you're talking about? What is going on? College football just loves to drag the game on. They're like, let's keep doing it. I'm surprised Kaepernick didn't go to the XFL or anything. That would have been interesting. First and 15. Back to pass. Tries to flip the ball forward. That's incomplete. He wanted too much money from the XFL, so the XFL team. Oh, is that what happened? Give me 2 seconds. I didn't know that he was actually in play for the XFL. That's interesting. Had no idea. 2nd and 15. Carson Beck is back to pass. He launches this. That's incomplete. Incomplete. The XFL didn't want Kaepernick. Testaverde, man. How old is Testaverde now? Testaverde's in the 60s, isn't he? Testaverde is my favorite Jets quarterback of all time, him and Pennington. Roughing the passer on Indiana. Oh, boneheaded play. Boneheaded play. .132 left. How do you even tune into Japanese football? That's interesting. That gets the ball off. That's a first down at the 46. Miami has no timeouts left, but still have 1:25 left on the clock. Back. Nice catch by Tony. That's a first down. What's up, Madison Duncan? Good to see you. At least it's close, yes. Madison Duncan, take a look at that score prediction, though, right? See that? Pretty crazy. I don't have a future telling device. And if I do, it doesn't work the way it should properly. No, Indiana doesn't have the ball. I'm sorry. Miami has the ball. There we go. Ball just moved. Japanese football is pretty good. That'd be interesting. Maybe we should do a Japanese football stream. When does it start? Or like when is it? I'm gonna have to look that up. Neither team has a timeout left. 51 seconds left. This is interesting. This is interesting. Buccaneers first round pick on a kicker. No team has followed since. Yeah, Miami's moving. 51 seconds left. They're at about midfield, a little past midfield. No team has any timeouts left. So interesting. This is very interesting. And here is Carson Beck. Throws downfield. That's picked off. Wow, what a bad pass. Are you kidding me? And that's going to end the game. That's going to end the game. He's got to go over and look at Ray Lewis right now. We told him to go win the game for him, and he throws it into double coverage. Wow, bad clips galore. Game, says Mike Causey. Wow, terrible. Bring out the Indiana belt. Yep. Where is the Indiana belt? Hold on. We got it here. We got it here. First, I got to reload the stream because this is silly. Reload the chat, actually, because it just crashed on me. Indiana belt is coming out. Hold on. All right. Oh, where is the Indiana belt? Did I should still have it here. Oh, there it is. The Indiana belt, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look what I have written on it. No! That goes against the narrative that I was trying to force down everyone's throats today. Pay no attention to the wording underneath. That doesn't apply to anything. I don't know who Loco must have gotten a hold of this and messed around with it. That was terrible. It was terrible. Signetti conquered. He looks happy. He looks happy. Well, Indiana wins a natty. How about that? How about that? I wish the NFL used college football hash marks. Could still happen. You're right. There's a possibility. It's not a great possibility, but there is a possibility. So there'll be content out tomorrow, probably every day this week through Friday. So keep an eye out for that. There will be a long form video out on tomorrow, plus a short. So, keep an eye out for both of those things. And we'll be back for, obviously, the AFC and NFC Championship game on Sunday. Your Lord of the stream tonight was Jeff's Party. Thank you so much, Jeff's Party. This was a lot of fun, even for a college game. But we got NFL action again coming up. Duke would have no shot. Well, we have Duke's old running back, who's now a quarterback coach. So there's that. For Kirk Signetti, is that his name? He looks happy now. Is he going to go have a beer? For Carson Beck, good effort, kid. Just don't stay away from the Jets, please. For Lorraine, who watches every single stream, for PFA, for Lucas and Astro and their sweaters, I am Rich Jodice. And by the way, Jeff's Party. And for all the champions, we got Ashley, we got Philip Quinn, we got Sean Cantrell, we got Jeff's Party, the streams Lord of the evening. I am Rich Jodice, the Pro Football Demon. And I will see you guys